Morning, all City of Tampa staff. All audio and video checks are good for webinar. I am now going to the background.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, Honorable Council and everyone. My name is Shirley Foxx-Knowles, City Clerk for the City of Tampa. Welcome to the organizational meeting for the Tampa City Council. Roll call, please.
Carlson. Here. Hurtak. Here. Clendenin.
Here.
Henderson.
Present.
Vieira.
Here.
Miranda.
Here.
And Maniscalco.
Here.
We have a physical quorum.
We will now conduct the election for the chairperson and chair pro tem for the Tampa City Council. Here are the election guidelines. The election of the chair will be held first. Nominations do not require a second. Please wait to be recognized before nominating a candidate. I will open the nominations and close them after all nominations have been made. Votes will be counted by raising the hand. The vote will be taken in the order of the nomination, beginning with the first name nominated. The vote will cease as soon as there is a majority, which requires 4 votes. Having said that, nominations are now in order for the chairperson. Yes, sir.
I'd like to nominate Guido Maniscalco.
Guido Maniscalco has been nominated. Is there another nomination? Yes, ma'am.
Bill Carlson.
Bill Carson has been nominated. Is there another nomination? Okay. Close the nominations on Mr. Maniscalco and Carson.
Madam Clerk, I really appreciate my colleague nominating me, but since I nominated someone else, I think I have to vote for the other person. So I very much appreciate the nomination, but I guess I will decline at this point.
Okay. Is there another nomination? We'll close it on Mr. Maniscalco. All in favor of Mr. Maniscalco?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that unanimous? Okay. Would the new chair like to say a few words?
Thank you very much to my colleagues. Thank you for your support and believing in me. And a very special thank you to my legislative aide, Lisa Edwards, who makes all of this happen. Thank you for all you do. So thank you very much.
Nominations are now in order for Chair Pro Tem. Is there a nomination? Okay, Mr. Vieira.
Yes, Alan Clendenin.
Mr. Clendenin has been nominated. Is there another nomination? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Would you like to say a few words?
No, thank you. It's been a good year. Chairman Maniscalco and I have a great relationship, and I think we work well together as a team. I couldn't agree more about his aide, Lisa, and what she brings to the table, the efficiency and what she brings to the team here for all of us. And thank you, Chairman Maniscalco, for a good year, and I look forward to another good year.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. We will now conduct the election for chairman of the CRA. Is there a nomination? Yes, Mr. Maniscalco.
Councilmember Henderson.
Okay. Chair, CRA member, Ms. Henderson has been nominated. Is there another nomination?
I was going to nominate the same person. So.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I should say something?
Yes, please.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I just am thankful for the second opportunity to serve as the chair of the CRA. I've learned a lot. There are 7 CRAs within my district, and I just really appreciate the opportunity to continue the work. And special thank you to my legislative aide, girlfriend, and wonderful person that serves in my office every single day on behalf of the city of Tampa, Darlene Johnson. So thank you.
Nominations are now in order for the vice chair. Is there a nomination? Yes, sir.
Nominate Lynn Hurtak.
Is there
I
another
nominate-
nomination? Yes.
Sorry.
Ms. Henderson?
Yes, I nominate Louis Vieira.
Mr. Vieira has been nominated. Is there another nomination? All in favor? Please raise your hand. Okay. Congratulations. You would like to say a few words?
Absolutely. This is a very sought-after position, Vice Chair of CRA. And heavy is the gavel for he or she who holds it. It's a lot of responsibility, and I thank council for entrusting me with this burden and honor. Thank you.
If there was an Oscar for acceptance speeches, that would win.
All right. I'd like to turn the meeting over to our chair.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. I'd like to call this Tampa City Council meeting to order. We've already done roll call, so we are good with that. At this time, we have invocation. I don't think we have anybody designated today. So if we could please stand for a moment of silence and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you very much. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Roll call is good, correct? All right. We need to adopt the minutes from April 18, 2024, and the workshop session held on April 25th, 2024. Motion from Councilmember Henderson, second from Councilmember Miranda, all in favor? Aye.
Sorry, y'all.
Okay. There was a request that, we have several awards to give this morning, but there's a request for Firefighter of the Quarter to come first, now for ceremonial activities. And then we'll go to Police Officer, Water Department, and Mr. David Llanos. But before I do that, I just want to announce the Building Safety Month is this month of May. We're going to recognize Mr. J.C. Hutchinson, our Chief Building Official, and the Construction Services staff. Building Safety Month is a campaign held in May to raise awareness about building safety. This campaign reinforces the need for the adoption of modern, regularly updated building codes and helps individuals, families, and businesses understand what it takes to create safe and sustainable structures. The International Code Council, its members, and a diverse partnership of professionals from the building construction, design, and safety communities come together with corporations, government agencies, professional associations, and nonprofits to promote building safety through proclamations, informational events, legislative briefings, and more. All communities need building codes to protect their citizens from disaster like fires, weather-related events, and structural collapse. Building codes are society's best way of protecting homes, offices, schools, manufacturing facilities, stores, and entertainment venues. Code officials work day in and day out to keep the public safe. Mr. J.C. Hutchinson, you're here and you have your wonderful team. Good morning and thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you do, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you for that opportunity. I just wanted, a lot of times I come here and it's not only me that makes sure permits are issued and things are happening with the city regarding private construction. So I wanted my staff to be here, you all to see them, as we're out all times working, trying to make sure we have a safe and resilient community. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. We just need to do an approval of the agenda and the addendum. The clerk has given me some notes. We have a memo from Mr. Elise Drumgo requesting item number 9 be continued to May 16th.
So moved.
We have a motion from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Carlson. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. A memo from Councilmember Miranda requesting that items 24 and 25 be heard first after public comment. Is that correct, sir?
That's it, that's correct. So moved.
Councilmember Clendenin with the motion, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. We have a memo received from Councilmember Vieira requesting item number 52 be continued to August 1st. Let me get there. Yes, sir.
And if I may, Mr. Chair, yeah, and I'll be making a motion responsive to this 52 at the end of council, but yes, I do request it for additional time for the Italian Club.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion, and we have a second from Councilmember Clendenin. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Councilmember, I'm sorry, City Attorney Andrea Zellman is requesting item 53 to be continued to May 16th. May I have a motion? Motion from Councilmember Miranda. Do we have a second? Second from Councilmember Henderson. All in favor? Aye. All right, there's a memo from Mr. Vic Bide requesting item number 55 be continued to June 27th workshop. Do we have a motion? We have a motion from Councilmember. Yes, ma'am.
Don't we have a limit on workshop items? Attorney Shirley, have we met that?
Not yet.
All right, we have a motion from Councilmember Clendenin with the second from Councilmember Miranda to continue 55 to June 27th. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And then we have a memo from Mr. Stephen Benson requesting item 56 to be continued to the June 27th workshop. Councilmember Miranda with the motion, second from Councilmember Vieira. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, at this time, yes, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. All right, we will go to the firefighter of the quarter. I'm sorry. And then we get an approval of the agenda. All right, let's go to the staff reports. Is there an administrative update? Ms. Chief Bennett? No. All right, item number 48 is a $5 million item. We have a memo from Mr. Brad Baird. Would you like Mr. Baird in person for 48? No? All right. Item number 49, that's 4.4 million. We have a memo from Brad Baird. Do we need him in person?
I just have something I want to say about it.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think we need him. I just wanted the folks to know that the reason for the expense, we talked at length about it, and it's a concrete barrier protected bike lane. So it's continuing that Cass Street up to Cascaden Park. So just wanted folks to know about that. I don't think we need anybody here for it.
Okay,
though.
so no on 49. Item number 50.
No, I'm fine with the report.
Thank you very much. Item number 51, do we need staff? We have a memo from Mr. Tony Mulkey. No, okay. Item number 52, 53 were continued, and the final item under staff reports is Miss Abby Feely for item 54.
I think you should probably get a report on that.
Yes, so yes on Abby Feely for 54. That is everything. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
Actually, I just have a quick question. So for 50, we actually got a request via email
okay.
for an amount.
We did get an amount? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you wish to discuss it, I was gonna handle that behind the scenes.
Oh, okay, that's
But
fine.
yeah, but if you
No,
wish, please.
no, that's fine, as long as you, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda and the addendum? Motion from Councilmember Miranda. Do we have a second? This is for approval of the agenda. Second from Councilmember Henderson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Firefighter of the quarter. Who wishes to take that up? Councilmember Vieira.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and everyone at City Council. It's my great pleasure here to do our City of Tampa Firefighter of the Quarter. This gentleman is a person who is known to many of us and is a wonderful guy who I consider to be a friend, and many of us know his family, Mr. Alex Canassi. He is joined here by many, many family members, including Laura Canassi, his wife, Elise Canassi, his daughter, Selena Huesca, his mother, Elliot Huesca, his sister, Julie Saunders, his mother-in-law, and a man who I know none of us know, Mr. Simon Canassi, his very, very proud father. So if I may, I will invite our Tampa Fire Rescue Chief, Chief Tripp, to come forward and speak about this gentleman. Go ahead, ma'am.
Good morning, Council. Barbara Tripp, Fire Chief for Tampa Fire Rescue. So I would like to introduce the firefighter of the second quarter for Tampa Fire Rescue. This gentleman's name is Firefighter Alex Canassi. Firefighter Canassi is currently assigned at Station 21. Firefighter Canassi has shown dedication to the fire service and is willing to sacrifice his personal time dedicated to helping others and giving back to the community. Although this gonna kind of outline may explain over several years, but it actually shows why he was chosen for Firefighter of the Quarter. I feel his selfishness deserved the recognition of being Firefighter of the Quarter for this quarter. Firefighter Canassi has participated in Great American Teach-In every year since 2012, shining a bright light on firefighting and Tampa Fire Rescue children as young as 3 years old all the way to high school seniors. Firefighter Canassi has proudly served on Tampa Fire Rescue hiring panel since 2018, assisting in the interviewing Tampa Fire Rescue future employees. He has also given presentation to teachers on common emergencies that occur in school setting, including but not limited to allergic reactions, traumatic injuries, heat-related emergencies. After the tragic of a high school student athlete, Alex Canassi was invited to present to SLAM, which is also known as Sports Leadership and Management, high school coaches, on the dangers of heat exhaustion and stroke. He also spent years assisting at Tampa Fire Rescue Fireground until he was chosen to be a live fire trainer and safety and survival instructor, working with the Fire Academy students, recruit classes, and Tampa Fire Rescue firefighters. Firefighter Canassi was invited to be one of the 4 instructors to teach Beyond the Bell course at the Metro Atlantic Firefighter Conference in Georgia. He also attended the Fallen Firefighter Memorial in Colorado to represent Tampa Fire Rescue and to honor his dear friend, Matthew Bunch. In the first 2 years of his employment, Firefighter Canassi organized and hosted 2 fundraising events at his family restaurant, Kelly Days, which raised several $1,000s toward the construction of Firefighter Memorial statue that stands currently in front of Tampa Fire Rescue Station 1. In 2018, he organized an event benefiting the Suncoast Animal League and Denali, a dog who was severely burned by her homeowner. Prior to COVID, Alex Canassi presented Tampa Fire Rescue for multiple years in the Big Monster Bed Race of Ybor City, building a bed that brought home multiple podium finishes. This event successfully raised money for children charities across Tampa Bay. In 2019, his friend and brother firefighter from Hillsborough County was hit on his motorcycle by a distracted driver. The firefighter subsequently lost his leg. Alex immediately organized a fundraising event along with his brother firefighters to raise funds and assist with the firefighter care. He also organized a limousine to escort the firefighter's younger sister to her homecoming dance the same evening. The very next year, Firefighter Canassi and photographer Eric Bunch organized the first Tampa Fire Rescue and Rescue Animal Calendar, which he was voted to be featured as Mr. April. The calendar raised over $10,000 for the Humane Society of Tampa Bay. Firefighter Canassi also, being a counselor at Camp Hopataki, a summer camp for pediatric burn survivors, and in his 3rd year participating, he was voted Counselor of the Year by the campers and his fellow camp counselors. When COVID severely affected the camp fundraising effort, he organized and live streamed a charity and bicycle ride down Bayshore Boulevard with his brother and sister firefighters. Shortly after, Firefighter Canassi was asked to run for and was elected president of Tampa Firefighter Charity, a fund, a nonprofit organization that hosts Camp Hopataki and raise funds for various firefighting-related causes. This position comes coupled with the role as the director of the camp, Hopataki, which he gladly accepted. His first act as president of the charity fund was to participate in a Thanksgiving dinner giveaway at the Light of the World Church, along with Local 754 and the Firefighter Benevolence Association. In 2020, Firefighter Canassi has organized the donations of thousands of dollars and toys to local children's hospitals for their Christmas and Christmas in July toy drive. From 2021 to 2023, Firefighter Canassi initiated multiple votes to donate thousands of dollars to help his fellow Tampa firefighter who suffered sickness and tragedy. Also, in 2023, he facilitated the donations of 30 stack-pack medical bags to Tampa Fire Rescue, which was valued over $9,000. During his tenure as president, he has raised over $200,000 in cash and in-kind donation and acquired enough sponsorship funds each year to complete Camp Hoppataki. He is also passionate about this position with the camp that he attended an International Association of Burn Camp Conference in order to gain valuable knowledge and continue to the rich tradition of Camp Hoppataki. Firefighter Canassi recently received a Tampa City Council commendation for his work as director of Camp Hoppataki and a certificate of meritorious service for his rescuing a man who was involved in a motorcycle accident while on vacation in Georgia. Firefighter Canassi is truly dedicated to expanding the knowledge of the fire service to others, as well as helping those in need, whether on duty, in the uniform, or off duty, sacrificing his personal time that is spent away from his family, including his young daughter, time in which some of us wish we could simply have more time with our children. Firefighter Canassi is an excellent firefighter paramedic and performs flawless on emergency scenes, but that's him doing his job. I feel he needs to be recognized for the things he's done on and off the job and on his own time that are still very relevant to the fire service in the city of Tampa. For those reasons, I introduce you to Firefighter Alex Canassi for Firefighter of the Quarter.
Thank you very much, Chief, and wonderful words. And, you know, everything she said about Mr. Canassi is so very true. I've seen him at Camp Hoppataki, and like the others who helped lead it up before, like Jeremy Finney, Jace Cohan, and others, he just has a heart for that. And something that the Chief said is so true, which is he has a family. And he already has one heck of a stressful job, and he takes these things on. Every time I talk to his father, I always say, I know you're proud of your son. I know that. So I'll stop talking, and I'll invite members of the community to come up and express their appreciation. Oh, please. Yes, I didn't know. Yes, sir, please.
Yes, I get elected to say something. First of all, my name is Stephen White. I'm a district chief for the fire department. I'm also the co-chair of the awards committee, so it was our honor to nominate him for this year. I've also had the privilege of knowing Alex since he first got on the job. I was the first lieutenant that he had and one of his first captains. I'd like to take credit for a lot of what he's become, but this really stems from his upbringing. You know, I've seen it since I met him on the first day. You could see a genuine passion for what he does and just a good human being. He's been taught many wonderful lessons from his parents and from his family, and he's just a dedicated family man. He's a dedicated father, which again, like it was mentioned before, he spends a lot of time doing other things, but still makes sure he makes time for his family and for his daughter. And I just admire that about him, that he finds a way to make all of this happen. While he's doing all that, he still does a great job as a firefighter. I was privileged to have him as my firefighter. He's very intelligent. You know, so saying all these wonderful things about him, I'm happy he's got a button up on today, because I don't think he'd get a pull up over his head after this day goes on. But again, I'm just honored to know him. He's a good man. He's got a good heart. And that's something that's really important, especially in a field like this, that you see a lot of tragedy each and every day. And to keep the passion and to keep the good feelings and the love for the job he does and the people he serves, I think is a wonderful testament to who he is.
Good morning, Council. Don Snipes, Vice President of Local 754. Let me first say this is my first run on the Firefighter and a Quarter. I'm filling in for our President, Nick Stocco, who has been called to Baltimore for an IAFF seminar, which was pre-scheduled. So, Alex, on behalf of the members, Local 754, we want to give you a plaque for Firefighter of the Quarter for your selfless and tireless efforts that you've done throughout your entire career. You have been committed from day one, and it shows. So we appreciate it. Thanks so much, and congratulations. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Council. Good morning, Firefighter Canassi. I'm Grace Gonzalez. I'm here on behalf of the Gonsmart family and the 1905 family of restaurants. We are so proud to have you here in Tampa. Thank you for everything you do. We'd like to present you with this gift card. Please enjoy this with your family at Eulalie, Goody Goody, any of the Columbia locations across Florida. Have some time to relax.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Good morning. My name is Mary Lou Bailey, and I'm here on behalf of Zoo Tampa, and we have some lovely things that I think your daughter will enjoy, and also an annual membership, so you can come out as many times as you can possibly have time when you're not fighting fires and saving children and raising money and everything else. Your story was so impressive. I mean, such continuity of service. And as the councilman said, obviously a big heart. So congratulations and thank you. And thank you to all the first responders. You guys are all awesome. The community loves you. Enjoy it all in good health.
Thank you very much.
And thank you to the family.
Good morning, firefighter. Good night to you. I'm Mary Dillon from the Strass Center for the Performing Arts on behalf of the Strass Center. Thank you for your service, and please take a break and go see a show on us with a couple of beverages in there. Thank you. Have a great night.
Nice to meet you.
Good morning, Council. Good morning, Firefighter Kentucky. Brian Ford with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and what a story. Congratulations for the much-deserved recognition, and on behalf of the Glazer family and our entire organization, thank you for your dedication, your sacrifice, your family sacrifice. I can see the support that you have and the impact that you made, so remarkable. And we have a little tradition at $1. Anybody that goes over and above gets a game ball. And unfortunately, yours isn't ready, but I have this generic one. But unfortunately in one way, but fortunate in another. Here's my card. I'd love to invite your family out and anybody else that you'd like to bring for a tour to get your real ball anytime next week, and I'll have that.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, and thank you very much. I don't know if we get a picture with that. I'll take that back, but if we want to do a picture, we can do that outside on the steps. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
Jennifer Curry from Bill Curry Ford, and on behalf of all of your friends at Bill Curry Ford, we're presenting you with a free works package and a gift card for a restaurant, and just come see us anytime. We love to show you our love. We have a private room for all of the first responders for waiting, and we'd love to help you with anything. But thank you for everything you do for our community. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Good morning, Council. Miranda Hilton from Steps Towing. Good morning. On behalf of Todd Steps and all of us at Steps Towing, thank you for all you do. Dinner for you and your family on Team Steps, and again, we appreciate you and all that you do. Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I have a long history with your family.
Yeah.
You know about that?
Yes.
I noticed you're a paramedic, right?
Yes, sir.
Did your dad ever tell you about his life-saving experience in Zurich?
Too many times.
Too many times. It's good that you're now a paramedic, because he may have another incident, you know? But, he needs to be saved alive. On behalf of a couple of different folks, we're going to provide you with some gift certificates so you can enjoy yourself at Jackson's Bistro out on Harbor Island. Enjoy yourself at Bella Brava in the Midtown section. Daily Eats and their restaurant groups on South Howard. Let me get through these, if I can get these papers separated here. Yummy House China Bistro. There's, and Meat Market in Old Hyde Park. So congratulations for what you do, and your family's been dedicated to a lot of different movements in the city and contributed tremendously over the years. And your dad and I have been working on different things for the city. I don't want to tell you how many years, but anyway, congratulations to you. And I'm glad that you're the recipient for the first quarter.
Thank you, sir.
And now it is my great pleasure, my friend, mi hermano, to give you a Tampa City Council commendation. You're a wonderful man. You come from a wonderful family. Your father, your mother I've met before, a wonderful woman, and I know they're so proud of you. So thank you. God bless you. Here you go, buddy. Thank you. If you want to say anything.
Sure. That was overwhelming. Thank you very much. That's I'm blown away. I'll keep this short because we parked the fire truck in front of a hydrant. But, I want to thank City Council for having me today. I'm absolutely humbled, and this is the greatest honor I have received other than being a father. All I can do is thank those responsible for providing the foundation on which I've grown. I promise you it will transfer to the foundation that I'm building for my child as well. I'd first like to thank my family, to the Tampa Fire Rescue Administration, Local 754 Union, the Awards Committee, and my crew. Finally, I want to thank Captain Gary May, who for the last few years has been more than my captain, but also a mentor and just as importantly, my friend.
he's the one who nominated me for this award, so I thank him. There he is, back there. I'm not the most eloquent person, so I tend to borrow the words of others that I think I can relate to. And I have just a few quotes that I try to remember constantly that I'll share with you. One is from retired Fire Chief Tom Forward, who on my first day, he said, "You're making a commitment to this community." And I try every day to keep up my end of that commitment. The second, though not as quite as snappy as a dresser as Chief Forward was Arnold Schwarzenegger, who said, "You can call me anything you want, but don't ever call me a self-made man." And the people behind me and by my side today have each made me into the person I am today, and I know that without them, this isn't possible. I wouldn't even be anywhere near the things that I've accomplished thus far in my career and in my life. Finally, Robert Ingersoll, who famously said, "We rise by lifting others." At our pediatric burn survivor camp, Camp Hopataki, we strive to give the children the best week of their year by taking them to places that they may never have gone if it wasn't for the camp. And every year I consult with psychologists and mental health specialists to try and do more than just taking the kids to Disney and Busch Gardens. I'd like to think that thanks to the in-depth training and commitment of our leadership and camp counselors, we're assisting the guardians of these children with the building of a foundation that will last beyond that 1 week that we have them and beyond when they turn 18, which is when they would age out of camp. Recently, as she picked up her child from the last time from camp, one mother started to cry and she embraced me and said, "Alex, you have no idea what you do for these children, and God only knows where they'd be without you all." And I feel like anything less than that is a lack of success for these kids. I'm proudly born and raised in Tampa, and I promise you I will never stop giving back to this community and building on the foundation that others have laid for me and lifting those around me. And again, I'm absolutely humbled by this morning. I had no idea what this entailed, but all I can say is thank you to everyone in this room. I really, really appreciate it, and this isn't a, thanks for what you've done, see you later. I promise you I'll live up to this award for the rest of my career and the rest of my life. I just can't thank you enough, so thank you very much.
Councilmember Carlson.
I don't know that I've met you, but I hope to get to know you. You sound like an incredible leader. You have the humility, the care for the community. I'm so thankful that you decided to come back to Tampa. You've done more for the community than many people twice your age. So I can't wait to see what you do in the future. You know, you come from a great family. Your dad especially, all of us know he's one of the key leaders in the community. Considering all the business success he's had, you could have followed into business and instead you went into public service. And I know a lot of our hardworking police officers and firefighters have done that. And I thank you all for putting your lives on the line and putting risk out there. And you've been doing incredible things for others. And I know also, every time I hear your dad speak, every time I talk to him, he brags about you. And so I can see why and look forward to working with you to help the community in the future. Thank you.
Councilmember Moran.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say, young man, Mr. Canasi, there was an old saying that says action speaks louder than words. And if you listen to everything you've done, you'd have to say one word. But there was the action that you've done on what your training was and what your heart was at, where you wanted to be a firefighter for some period of time. In fact, more than likely in all my years of public service, you're the only one that has come here before us that I knew your grandfather and your grandmother on the mother's side, your grandfather and grandmother on the father's side. In fact, your grandmother was Hispanic Woman of the Year. So, and your father taught me how to comb my hair. But I had to do a little joke, if not, that wouldn't be me. But I want to thank you, your family is an outstanding family, and you always say sometimes that you're a product of your environment. And I believe in that. I believe in that to some degree. You can always take a horse of water. That doesn't mean that horse is going to drink. But you have taken life and respected it and try to help others as much as you can. Therefore, that's why you're here today with this award that's very prestigious. I want to thank you and your family for being who you are.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Councilmember Hunt.
Congratulations on all that you've accomplished. Of course, your best work, you were holding her earlier. But what you do for the community is so important. You're young in your career, and I just really appreciate what Fire and Rescue does, because, you know, lives are at stake and you all are the first responders. So I really appreciate that. You actually made me want to go back and look at the calendar since you flexed your muscles. I probably need to go look at the month of April to see what you're talking about. But anyway, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations. I'm glad to see your grandmother here in the audience. She was a friend of my grandmother's, and we honored your dad a couple of years ago. He came and spoke at city council, and I said, our families go back 50 years. And he corrected me, he goes, no, 60 years. So our families go back a long ways. Councilmember Carlson said it best, you're an amazing leader. I mean, I don't know if the chief has described a firefighter like this before. Just thank you for what you do. Your family's very proud of you. It's true. Your dad always says it. You know, he raised a wonderful son. You know, you come from, like E.J. Salsina says, you come from good stock. So you carry on the Candace name, you know, very proudly. You do a lot, and this is very well deserved. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Are we, okay. I'll wait 10 seconds, if I may, while they.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Do you have police officer of the month too?
Yeah, officer of the month. And if I may, council, next, it's my great privilege and pleasure to do the Tampa Police Officer of the Month for Officer Spencer Atkinson. This is, and we'll wait 20 seconds, if that's okay.
A few more seconds.
Ready? Guido, is it ready?
Right, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. It's my great pleasure, council, to do our Police Officer of the Month for Officer Spencer Atkinson. We have here our Chief Lee Bercaw, who's going to come and speak on this gentleman. It's always very important for us, as always say, to honor our first responders. This past week, we had a tragic reminder of the risks that all of our police officers take every day on the job with the deadliest attack on law enforcement that we've seen since 2016. In Charlotte, North Carolina, when 4 police officers were murdered and gunned down. It's a tragic reminder of the risk that individuals like our honoree today take every single day, as well as their families and loved ones. So if I may, I'm going to pass it forward to Chief Bercaw, who will speak on this gentleman.
Thank you, Council. Good morning, Council.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. And just to echo what he said, it's an honor for all the first responders to receive this recognition. So we do appreciate you all taking the time to honor our Officer of the Month and our Firefighter of the Quarter. So I'd like to introduce you to Officer Spencer Atkinson. He played a pivotal role in a complex operation targeting narcotic sales. Through his skillful investigative work, he successfully coordinated with his team to apprehend the suspect. This resulted in the arrest of a high-profile felon, the seizure of a stolen firearm, a substantial amount of illegal drugs, including fentanyl, and over $6,000 in cash. This case also led to the successful abatement of the Ybor Grocery, which we all know was a notorious location and community concern for narcotic activity. Officer Atkinson Officer Atkinson's tenacity was further demonstrated after a postal worker was robbed. You may have seen that on the news a while ago. Despite having a vague description of the suspect, Officer Atkinson utilized investigative techniques, identified the suspect, who had an outstanding homicide warrant in New Jersey. Working tirelessly, he discovered the suspect's plans to flee the country, and he coordinated with multiple agencies across state lines, and the suspect was successfully apprehended in Dallas, Texas, as soon as he got off the bus. In addition to that, Officer Atkinson's commitment extends beyond individual cases. He is a certified, identified gang member specialist, and he participates in the Tampa Bay area law enforcement group, focusing on trafficking gang activity. He has played a leadership role in identifying over 60 members of notorious motorcycle gangs and their associates. His dedication put pressure on these groups, leading to the closure of a Mongols clubhouse known for criminal activity in the Jackson Heights neighborhood. Officer Atkinson's exceptional skills and commitment to public safety make him an outstanding asset to the Tampa Police Department and a true guardian to the city of Tampa. His dedication and outstanding police work have resulted in significant contributions to the safety and security of our community. The Tampa Police Department is proud to recognize Officer Spencer Atkinson as the Officer of the Month for May 2024.
Thank you, sir. And next, here you go, officer, if you want, you can be here, sir. And next, we have members of the community who want to come and share their appreciation for the amazing work that you do, sir.
Great job, Spencer. Brandon Barclay, Tampa PBA. This is a plaque that we want to give you for membership for a job well done. Also, on behalf of Pete Revy and Busch Gardens, they're giving you a family pack tickets. Thank you. Congratulations.
Good morning, Officer Atkinson. I'm Grace Gonzalez. I'm here on behalf of the Gonsmart family and the 1905 family of restaurants. Thank you so much for everything you do for the city of Tampa. Please enjoy yourself at any of our restaurants, Columbia and Ybor City. Have some sangria, paella, enjoy a flamenco show. Just relax. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Good morning, my name's Mary Lou Bailey, and I'm here on behalf of Zoo Tampa, one of the boards that I serve on, and we've purchased you an annual membership to the zoo. But first of all, I want to just say thank you for your service, and I love that word tenacity. That's a real commitment. I love that word. It's a strong word. You look like a very strong public servant, and I thank you for that, and I thank all the first responders. It's such a crazy world out there, and I worry about the future of it for my 2 teenage daughters, and you're doing things to make it safer, and that's just so awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you to all of you.
Good morning, Officer Atkinson. I'm Mary Dillon from the Strass Center of the Performing Arts. Please accept the tickets to a show. Enjoy yourself. Thank you for all your service in our community. Have a great day. Thank you.
Officer Atkinson, Jennifer Curry, Bill Curry Ford. I just want to thank you on behalf of all your friends at Bill Curry Ford. We're just so grateful for everything you do for the Tampa Bay community. So we are offering you a free works package for your vehicle and also a gift card, and just come see us anytime. But thank you for everything you do for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Miranda Hilton with Steps Towing, and on behalf of Todd Stepp and the entire Steps, Team Steps family, we thank you for your service. We thank you for all you do, and please enjoy dinner on us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Morning, Council, Chief Brian Ford with the Buccaneers. Officer Atkinson, thank you. Your story is remarkable, and on behalf of the Glazer family and our entire organization, I'd like to thank you and your family for your sacrifice and all that you do for our community. Unlike, just like the firefighter, your ball, I got a fumble on that one too, but there's my information. Please give me a holler next week, anytime after. I'd love to give you a tour and present your ball.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, good, sir.
Steve Michelini. I don't have any funny stories to tell about you.
Hard to follow.
So anyway, I wanted to provide you with some gift certificates from a couple of different folks who would like to honor you. Meat Market in Old Hyde Park Village, providing you with a gift certificate. Yummy House China Bistro. Daily Eats and the Chicho Restaurant Group, Jackson's Bistro out on Harbor Island, and Bella Brava in the Midtown section. The chief said he wanted to go to Yummy House with you.
Okay.
Anyway, congratulations.
So, sir, on behalf of a very grateful city of Tampa and Tampa City Council for all the amazing work you've done in protecting all of us and making life safer for all of us, we give you this Tampa City Council commendation. Thank you, sir. There you go.
Well, I really appreciate this honor, and it's hard to follow Mr. April, but I couldn't do it without my whole team helping me on the streets when I'm out undercover and doing operations. It takes a lot of other officers that aren't here to be recognized. Appreciate my father, mother, and my wife for supporting me, and the staff for giving me this award. So thank you guys.
And now, if City Council wishes to speak,
Councilman Carlson.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for everything. Thank you to your colleagues who couldn't be here today. One of the cases that was mentioned, I won't mention the name, but one of the cases that was mentioned, I was so impressed with the thoroughness with which you all did the investigation. It was like watching a TV show or something. It was better actually because of the detail that you all went to, and with that kind of professionalism and thoroughness, I can see that you all are keeping us safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Again, thank you for what you're doing on a daily basis. To be a good police officer takes a lot of training, but there's one thing you'll never learn unless you got it in here and think like they think so you can catch them. And that's what you have to do. So in criminology, you have to work very difficult hours, day and night. You don't have a regular shift hour. It depends on where the crime is, how it is, who would committed it, and what do you think happened. And then you're going to be a bloodhound to find out and catch a perpetrator. So again, I want to thank you very much, Shirley, for the city of Tampa, all 400,000+ people for what you do on a daily basis, and God bless you and your family.
Anybody else? Congratulations, sir. Thank you for your sacrifice and for your family's sacrifice. We appreciate it very, very much. Thank you for keeping us safe and everything. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
We have quite a few people that need to clear the room, so by request, we're going to take a 5-minute recess.
Muted.
I didn't touch the donut.
Unmuted.
With the paper, so you can have it. I'd like to call the Tampa City Council meeting to order. If we can get roll call, please.
Carlson. Hurtak. Here. Clendenin.
Here.
Henderson. Present. Vieira. Miranda.
Here.
And Maniscalco.
Here.
We have a physical quorum.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Miranda.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead,
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, honorable members of Tampa City Council. It is my pleasure this morning to be here with each and every one in the audience regarding a combination to the City of Tampa's Water Department. Just for the record, this is a state laboratory certified operation that we have, like it should be. We're audited every 2 years by the state. In fact, we have some of the 11 employees, we can't leave them all, come over here because we need somebody still sampling the water. And we have 11 total that are scientists or technicians to the scientists. We have last year alone, we did 36,000 water qualities analysis. We perform special tests for other municipalities because we have a great lab. And I just want to say thank you personally to each and every one of them. And let me read the commendation if I may. This is under Brad Bear's committee. He has chaired and his responsibility as the deputy administrator of various departments, along with Mr. Roy Jones, who is the head of the City of Tampa Water Department. In recognition of Drinking Water Week, which shall be celebrated May 5th through the 11th of 2024, we call upon local governments, utilities, citizens, and business to help protect our water resources from trash and polluted runoff. And let me stop there. Every time you and I and the rest of us in this room see something, say something. Because I see, as you drive around the city streets, things being swept in to where they should not be swept in, into the sanitary sewer system. And that's polluting our waters even worse. So we're paying double to do that. So if you see something, say something. Call somebody. You've got 7 council members. Call the mayor's office. Call somebody so we can direct that. I just want to say thank you on behalf of Tampa City Council. Recognize the most valuable resources we have. You can live for a period of time without certain things. You cannot live for a period of time without water. And it's a very resourceful thing. We're in a crisis now, as far as I'm concerned, because it hasn't rained for 20-some days. We have a department that can produce 82 million gallons of best qualified water in the world, I think. And because of the lack of water, sooner or later, we'll be back to restrictions again. And sooner or later, this city has been one of the first ever to always have people patrolling the cities and giving out citations because your sprinklers are sprinkling on the wrong day or when there's water restrictions. And I want to thank the citizens for being very cooperative with that and reducing our consumption of water on a daily basis, because sometimes we have to have the water to produce the water to send to you to drink. And on that, I want to say thank you, and Mr. Roy Jones will come, and then I like the individuals that are here from the division that test the water on a daily basis to introduce themselves for the public and their families to see them, because without them, we would not be where we're at today, drinking one of the best quality waters in the state of Florida, possibly in the United States. Mr. Jones?
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you for the commendation. You know, it takes a team to deliver millions of gallons of water a day, you know, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. It takes a team of professionals, a team that willing to do, you know, really whatever needs to be done. And with me today are the team behind the scenes. This is the team that really lives in the laboratory, does a lot of our bacteriological sampling, samples for other labs because we were a little more highly qualified. They actually test for some others. They are led by our you know, treatment plant manager here, John Ring.
Good morning, Council. Thank you for this honor, and thank you for this opportunity to present our team here. I represent 110 city employees who get up every day and think water production. And between our mechanics, our electricians, instrumentation, our water quality and lab group, they get up and make sure we are producing water and we are pumping it out into the arteries of the city, which is the lifeblood of the city. And I can't say enough for those folks, and they're dedicated. They, in hurricane emergency situations, they leave their families in homes, come in and sleep in the comforts of the production facility to make sure we maintain the continuity of operations. So again, thank you, and want to introduce yourself in the lab? Michael, you can start.
I'm Michael Gurdjickian, the operations specialist, so I'm here representing our operators at the plant.
Good morning. My name's John Docks. I'm a senior environmental scientist. I run the organics laboratory, and if you ever want to come by the lab for a tour, show you around, I give the tours.
Hi, my name's Angela Thornburg. I'm an environmental scientist, and I run the metals department.
Hi, my name is Matthew Iyer. I am an environmental technician. I work the general chemistry in the lab. Yeah, just thank you for having us.
Good morning, my name is Karina P.S. I'm an environmental tech and I work in the microbiology department.
Good morning, my name is Nilufar Pishta. I'm a senior environmental scientist over general chemistry and metals department.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Paula Lachey. I'm the Water Quality Laboratory Supervisor. Our wonderful staff here has done a really good job to help the city protect the public health by analyzing many samples a year. We do close to 9,000 samples, some of which we're in conjunction with a private lab, along with 39,000 analyses. So thank you so much for this award.
And if I may, I just want to say thank you once again to each and every one of you all for being who you are and working so diligently. We can say a lot of things about a lot of things, but without these folks, there wouldn't be the water and the quality that we have. We take it for granted. Sometimes when you open the faucet, you have water. What would happen if you turn on the faucet and there is no water? And that could be a reality. You know, we have the same water we've had now for 400 million years. That doesn't mean it's plentiful. That doesn't mean it rains here every day. Look at California, what they're doing is the opposite. They're flooding. Florida now is going to a drought. So I ask the citizens to be vigilant of the facts, and they've always come through, so I'm sure they're going to come through again. I want to say thank you again on behalf of Tampa City Council, each and every one of you, for who you are and what you do on a daily basis. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Chairman Maniscalco.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How are you?
All right. So after you, and then I'll jump in, and then we'll start telling the story.
All right, so with me today is Mr. David Llanos. I'll read this commendation, but Mr. Washington's going to add some information too. But it's with great pleasure that the Tampa City Council presents you, Mr. David Llanos, with this commendation. Automated collection driver in the solid waste department. Mr. Llanos was on his route when he encountered a woman standing in the street. She looked distraught. He stopped his truck and approached the woman. She told him that her son had wandered away from the house. Mr. Llanos parked his truck and set off looking for his son and discovered the young boy about a block away and carried him back to his distraught mother and then returned to his route. So with the thoughtful, independent action of Mr. Llanos exemplifying the kinds of actions that exist within our city employees, his quick thinking and action resulted in a potential saving of a life, and we therefore recognize Mr. David Llanos for those stellar actions presented on this second day of May 2024. And Mr. Washington, if you want to add to it?
Yes, sir, and truly appreciate the opportunity to recognize one of our solid waste professionals, one of our solid waste teammates. And I have my team with me as well, our leadership team. I'm going to have our Chief of Operations speak to the story. Before I pass off to Steve Swan, which is the Chief of Operations, I do want to say this. So the solid waste team goes through a lot of training, from defensive driving, of course, citywide, to automated training. That's the vehicle that he drives day in, day out, to Smith system training, another driving training course, to hurricane preparedness, emergency training, and then to round it all out, see something, say something training with TPD. So it's one thing to receive this training, but it's nothing without action. It's nothing without application. So on that day, Mr. Llanos right here, he did what he had to do and took care of the city of Tampa. Now, he is a New Yorker throughout and through. However, he loves Tampa. He is a Tampanian, and he shows with his work every day. Yes, indeed. So, Steve Swan, come on up.
I'm Steve Swan, Chief of Operations for Solid Waste, and is kind of echoing Mr. Washington's sentiment. Mr. Llanos has been a dedicated employee for 12 years in the fifth most dangerous industry, as solid waste is. And what you didn't hear from the story was how terrified that this mom was, and how terrified this young man was. And he, as a father, those instincts kick in, and everybody's, a parent, you realize how scary that can be if a child gets away, even for a moment. So his dedication and stop, and he made sure he knelt down, and that child knew it was a safe zone to come to, because he certainly could have kept running. Brought him back, and also the mom had another young baby. He assisted her, so this child could kind of reunite with the mother, and then he kind of closed the situation. So there's a lot going on, and he went right back to his route, like nobody's business. So the dedication is unbelievable. So we thank you.
Thank you.
We love having him as part of our team, and hopefully a lot of years to come.
And then last but not least, so this, in my opinion, is a testament to your training, and as an addition to that, a testament to your character as well. So we truly appreciate you, grateful to be a teammate of yours, and thank you again. If you have some words.
I just want to say thank you for having me.
Well, thank you very much.
And I'm glad to be at the right place at the right time.
But that's not all. So, on behalf of a few people, there's a couple of gifts. So, we have here, usually I don't do this, but we have gift certificates here for the Yummy House and Bella Brava, both very good places. I recommend them both.
Okay.
That's for you to enjoy yourself. And then here, for you, this is from the zoo, so you have tickets to the zoo. I have two little ones, well, two teenagers almost. So, we like going to the zoo. It's a great place. But think about what you did. You averted disaster. Because I have, my youngest is going to be 12 in a couple of weeks. Kids disappear like that. You can't be looking down at your phone. The kids are gone. We averted a potential, who knows what. But your quick thinking and your service, we're proud to have people like you. You have a great team. You are what keep Tampa running, as they say, with the union, but you keep the community safe. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Mr. Shelby, it's public comment time.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of City Council, Martin Shelby, City Council Attorney, good morning. Members of the public are allowed a reasonable opportunity at the beginning of today's City Council meeting to address any item on the agenda before the City Council takes official action. A 3-minute time limit applies to all speakers providing public comment. Speakers and members of the public are also reminded that they are to refrain from disruptive behavior, including making vulgar or threatening remarks, or making or causing disruptive noises or sounds, or displaying signs or graphics. Speakers are also reminded to refrain from making personal attacks against any city official, staff member, or members of the public. The chair will rule out of order any person who speaks without being recognized or attempts to address the council from outside the speaker area at the podium. The chair will rule out of order any person who speaks without being recognized, as I said, and persons failing to comply with the council rules may also be ruled out of order and, at the discretion of the chair, may be removed from the chambers for the remainder of today's meeting. If you're here to speak on an item set for a public hearing, you will have that opportunity when the item is heard later in the agenda. No public comment will be taken later during staff reports. The time to speak about those items and items on the consent agenda is now during general public comment. And finally, City Council members should refrain from engaging a speaker under public comment, and the public should be aware that the City Council does not take questions or engage in a dialogue during general public comment. This is your opportunity to express your position. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Canassi, let's start it off. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Council. First of all, I want to thank everyone for the kindness bestowed on my son today.
Please
I
state
didn't
your
want to
name,
speak
sir.
to it earlier because it was his day, and I didn't feel like I wanted to follow Babe Ruth up to bat.
Please state your name, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, Simon Canassi. I'm here to speak today on, in support of a new contract for Chief Lee Bercaw of Tampa Police Department. I've gotten to know Chief Bercaw over the time since he's been appointed by Mayor Castor, and I have to tell you, I am so impressed with his ethics, with his leadership, with his dedication. I can't say enough about him. He is what our TPD has needed, and I think he has brought an incredible sense of stability to the department. He is so well respected. I know that you have to have discussions concerning the contract, and I just hope that what takes more importance in that discussion is the man that has been leading that department now for quite some time and the incredible job that he has done. All you need to do is to go ask all of the people in TPD, what do they think of their chief? And you're going to find overwhelmingly that he has an incredible amount of respect within the department. He certainly has my respect and the respect of the citizens of Tampa. He has dedicated his life to keeping our city's streets safe, and I just can't say enough about him. I hope that you will consider the contract and that you will vote in favor of him continuing as our chief for the City of Tampa Police Department. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, ma'am. Next speaker. Please state your name.
Hi, good morning. Linda Saul, Senna 157 Biscayne. I'm here this morning as a longtime board member for Community Stepping Stones. Community Stepping Stones, I think all the council members received a paper on it, is a marvelous after-school program in Sulphur Springs. It provides young people there with something really positive to do after school, learning about the arts, but our goal isn't to make them into fabulous artists, although that would be lovely. It's really to give them a safe and challenging and exciting and engaging place to be, and we also give them a snack. And we also give them food on weekends. We also do summer programs and weekend programs and holiday programs. So I'm here today, and I'll push now. But City Council has never, the City of Tampa has never invested any resources in the Community Stepping Stones program. So I'm here today with the director and the chairman of our board to give you more in-depth information about it. Thank you.
My name is Georgia Vahue. I'm the executive director of Community Stepping Stones. And Community Stepping Stones has been around for about 20 years. We're celebrating 20 years this year. And we have received funding from Hillsborough County, but we have not received funding from the City of Tampa. Yet we are located in one of the most neglected neighborhoods of Tampa, Sulphur Springs. We're making a difference there. And we'd like you all and the City of Tampa to help us make that difference. Thank you.
My name is Gary Gibbons. I'm the chair of the board. 12 years ago, I joined the board as a lawyer because we needed to make sure that we were doing things properly to keep our 501c3 designation. And when I showed up at my first board meeting, I was pretty intimidated because I don't really know anything about the arts. And all these people that were there on the board, Art Keeble had been the chair of the Arts Council here for decades, and Wally Wilson was the chair of the Arts Department at USF. And, here I am as a lawyer. But what I figured out very quickly was that Community Stepping Stones is much more than just teaching art. It's teaching life skills. We teach things like working collaboratively in groups, learning science and math hidden inside of a lesson plan, building self-esteem, discovering talents that these kids never knew that they had. I thought that when I first joined the board that I'd give a legal checkup and stay a couple of years and then find somebody else to take my place. But the place got in my bloodstream, and I'm passionate about it, and I've been in the chair for the last 6 years. But throughout 12 years on the board, we face a constant fear of disappearing, because the type of funding that you get from grants The type of funders that give you a grant, they'll give you one now, but then maybe they won't give you one for 5 years. We can't support that program that way. It's extremely difficult to operate a free program for kids in a small nonprofit in the most neglected part of the city of Tampa. Many of you have visited us at CSS, and we appreciate that. But I'd like to invite you to come back when the kids are there, because that's when the magic happens. And you'll see, and it'll become part of your heart as well. Now, the city has no recreational programs in Sulphur Springs. And I looked at the website last night, and I noticed that there are summer camps all over the city, some of which deal with art, and they are full. Many of them have waiting lists. Well, this is the best bang for your buck because we already have the program in place. We provide the teachers. All we need is your help to help us thrive. Please do so.
Thank you all.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Hi again, I'm Angela Alderman. I am here again today to fight for the loss of College Hill Cemetery. And once again, the Italian Club is not present. They are out of town. So I will continue to wait for answers, and I will not falter in my quest for the whereabouts of the 1,200 that are still lost of College Hill. However, I do come today to ask the city to do what they can on their end and scan the area of the retention pond and surrounding areas. On Tuesday, I emailed each of you detailed articles so there would be less questions left. The research and its history speaks volumes. It has been brought up with some hesitation in regards to the bones being underneath the mausoleum and or dumped while construction was underway. Maps do not lie. The historical maps are evidence this took place. They were laid to rest there, and they were either moved or they were desecrated. In the article by Paul Guzzo in the Tampa Times, it's reported that in 1970, bones and other cemetery items were found as two siblings played. There are also other accounts that the remains were dumped there. It is very brave of those two siblings to come forward, and I am grateful they did. I asked the city to step in and do their part and scan as it is city property. The lost of College Hill deserve this, and so does the community to see. The city will do all they can do to confirm if bones still remain there. I have been in contact with Councilman Vieira, and he supports me fully and is putting a motion forward today, so thank you. I ask that I have each of your support as well. Maybe something is still there, and if it is, how beautiful would that be to bring us a little closer to the truth and closure that they need for the College Hill and true healing to begin. Thank you, Council.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Please state
Good
your name.
morning. I'm Hamira Afzal, and I live in Tampa. My original topic today was going to be to bring more photos of things that don't belong in the bike lane. And in fact, I saw 3 cars in the bike lane on the way here, and yes, I took photos. But then came Tuesday, and the excessive use of force against students at USF by Hillsborough County Sheriff's officers, state troopers, and USF PD. A reminder to you, USF is in Tampa city limits, D7 to be specific, and many USF students are your constituents. As you're probably aware, the USF students have been calling for a ceasefire and an end to the slaughter of Palestinian civilians in Gaza for many months, as have many other community members. Like students across the U.S., they have also been calling for their universities to divest from companies that profit from war and violence. Historically, student protesters have been on the right side of history. My first protest was as a university student protesting against apartheid in South Africa. Historically, that afternoon on Monday, the first day, I had the honor of being able to go and support these brave young students. Here's what I saw. There were no tents because that would get you arrested. There was students sitting on tarps and blankets studying. Some of them were taking naps because they had stayed up all night preparing for finals. There was no violence. They were not disruptive. There were literally young children running around blowing bubbles. Not exactly a threatening scene. I cannot overemphasize how diverse this group of protesters and their supporters were. White, black, brown. They leaned young because they're students, but there were also children. There were also older community members there like myself to support them. They were Muslim, they were Christian, they were Jewish, and more. They were peaceful. They had legal observers, they had a police liaison. They were not violent, they were not advocating violence. They were not anti-Semitic. They were protesting against Israel's genocide in Gaza and our government's complicity in it and our taxpayer dollars being used to support it. They were calling on USF to divest. As a reminder, over 35,000 people killed in Gaza. There are no universities left standing in Gaza. But let's set that subject matter aside and talk more broadly. The students were exercising their First Amendment right to free speech, their right to assembly. That is a core right of all Americans. That was the protesters. Now let's talk about who else was there. Tons of law enforcement. It was, on Monday, there was more law enforcement there than protesters. The violence that happened on Tuesday when students were arrested was instigated by law enforcement. Cops in full riot gear broke up the protest with tear gas and rubber bullets. They tackled protesters and held them down with knees on their students' necks.
Thank you very much.
I'm out of time.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
We cannot normalize this.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Please state your name.
Good morning, Council. Dr. Michelle Williams. You all know I usually start with one of my favorite speeches from Dr. King or quoting him in one of his famous speeches. But this morning, I'm going to go all the way back to my childhood. Traveling from Haiti to Jefferson County, Florida, Tallahassee, my great-grandmother used to make quilts. And to make a quilt, you have to have woven fabrics inside of that quilt. And to place a good quilt together, you have to have the right proper threading. Some fabric is good fabric, some of the fabric from old clothes that she cut from her children and my grandmother and things that she used that were mine were woven into that. We are all woven into a quilt as members of this diocese and members of the community. Some members of the community are not to be woven into a good fabric. And what we have, a part of that fabric right now, are a bunch of slum landlords in Tampa who are getting away with everything. But this morning, I'm here to say thank you to the City of Tampa Code Enforcement Department for the phenomenal job that they have been doing over in East Tampa. I have been working with Mr. McFarland and Mr. Bryan. There was supposed to be a hearing that was due set yesterday, but guess what? It didn't happen yesterday, not because we didn't have enough evidence against this slum landlord, because we had more overwhelming evidence against this slum landlord. The City of Tampa Code Enforcement Department is under fire again by local news media and local press, and it's damaging. I don't care how much a person makes, as long as they're getting their job done and they're doing the best of their ability and they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, I'm all right with that. These men and women who are over in there, sometimes they encounter bad landlords who confront them when they have to place a lien or a fine or a deregulation on their front door. But what's damaging are the tenants who are being evicted because they are exercising their rights to call the Code Enforcement Department because they are refusing to live in slum and blight. Now, this is an issue that we cannot close our eyes to anymore. We can't close deaf ears to anymore because there are too many tenants who are suffering right now and being evicted. There's one slum landlord, and I was told that I can publicly say her name, Anita Schembrecher. Okay, this lady managed to evict 202 residents in 2 years. She's done more than any apartment association in the city of Tampa and Hillsborough County. We've done our research. If this woman can't be stopped, and if she won't be stopped, I'm going to come back in front of you again and again and again and again. But Code Enforcement Department, to all of the local media and to the press, back your ass up off them because they're doing their job.
Thank you very much. Good morning, sir. Please state your name.
Good morning, my name is Dave Coleman, and this is from the ACLU. Schools can announce and enforce reasonable content-neutral protest policies, but they must leave ample room for students to express themselves. Schools must recognize that armed police on campus can endanger students and are a measure of last resort. Years ago, Biden came to an HCC Veterans Roundtable. I stood with 10 Democrats holding Biden signs. 100 MAGA were there, and some came to us draping flags on our heads, screamed in our faces, and shoved us. TPD sat across the street and watched. Years ago, we set up tents in front of the ICE building down by the airport. TPD didn't brutalize the Occupy ICE group. In 2020, police kettled 100 people, arrested them mostly without violence. Later, those charges were all dropped. Gassing and beanbag rounds had quickly come to an end in Tampa. I think that Tampa has always recognized that violence in the street from our police is unacceptable. Last week, I chose to bring an empty pot and bang on it with a spoon at HCC on behalf of starving children in Gaza. And a young lady walked over and gifted me this. If things went bad, I suppose I would have been arrested. I would expect the police to be nonviolent. Direct action protest can be peaceable. I urge this council to send a message that gassing and violently arresting students in our city is completely unacceptable. We cannot normalize such police violence. Tuesday, hundreds of officers were there that could have easily surrounded the group of 50, kettled them, and brought them out one at a time and made 50 arrests rather than 10 arrests as a result of gassing, running them down, and brutalizing. One of my friends ended up in the hospital and is facing felony charges. He's one of the most peaceable persons and smiley people that I know. A couple, I went off script. Send a message that in Tampa we don't brutalize students. No more. This has to stop. There are clearly other ways to bring people in that are prepared to be arrested in the first place. My friends were brutalized, one sent to the hospital. At the Patel building, during the hunger strike, the students went in and they occupied the whole entry area. There's chairs set up in there. They sat and they did their homework. That was the idea of putting those tents there. And when they were refused to do that, they decided the following day after the first 3 arrests that they brought some boards, because on the first day, when the police went in to take the 3 out, people were crushed, they were stepped on. One said that they couldn't breathe. And so they wanted to defend the area where they put these 4 little pup tents. And so I'm about to run out. But there was actually no attempt at being violence towards our police.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning, sir. Please state your name.
Haru. Mentesnot. I want to say long live Palestine. And they're trying to muzzle everybody, tell people they can't speak, but that's the process of capitalism. That's the process of imperialism. That's the process of colonialism. That's the process of neocolonialism. You put muzzle on the people and they're supposed to be your slave. We've been African slaves for 624 years, and they want us to keep being slaves. They want the people in Palestine to be slaves. You understand? 50, 60, 70,000 people bombed in Palestine, and they want you to shut up because it's a big gang. Capitalism is a big gang. People come down here wasting their time because they're scared of capitalism. They're scared of democracy. But that name, certain names that you have to understand. That name, Sam Bankman-Fried, shows you that capitalism ain't nothing. And that name, Donald Trump, shows you democracy ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. Man full of charges, and he's a leading contender for the presidential position in the United States, the strongest country ever lived on this planet Earth. And capitalism and democracy like people to be scared. Come down here and you like talking to some MFing kings and queens. You can't say their names. We're going to prove you wrong next week, because I'm going to say each and every last one of your names. We're going to hold it off till next week, so I'm telling you in advance. And I'm going to show you it's nothing you can do. I'm going to show you that y'all are cowards, because that's something I ain't never been scared in my whole life. You understand? Police terrorizing our community and y'all want us scared. Now they killing Africans under the auspices of, oh, they claim sovereign citizen. And a clown over in Polk County bragging about it. A clown in Polk County, Grady Judd, bragging about it. Oh, we got him graveyard dead. Oh, they ain't killing Africans because we got tinted windows and they smell smoke and our taillights are out or we sleeping in the drive-thru. They murdering us now because we sovereign citizens. That's the biggest gang. And this big gang here tell you, oh, you can't say our names. Who in the F y'all think y'all are? That somebody can't say y'all names at a public meeting. This ain't y'all building. This the people's building. It's the people's building. Y'all murdering people in Palestine, paying for it, putting money towards it, and then y'all tell people they can't talk about it. Y'all tell young people standing up to y'all clowns. Tell them they can't, where they paying to go in their university, they can't come out and sit out or camp out or whatsoever. Man, y'all people too old to be in government. Each and every last one of y'all. This is a transitioning world, and y'all just too old to be even existing. But I'll show y'all next week. I'm going to call each and every last one of y'all name and dare you to do anything about it.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning, ma'am. Please state your name.
Good morning, Tanya Lewis. My name is Tanya Lewis. I'm the founder of Children with a Vision, a nonprofit 31 years in the Bay Area who's engaged along many chiefs of police in our community. I'm here in extension. I'm here to support the extension of Chief Bercaw. Chief Bercaw has demonstrated over the last year true leadership. His innovativeness and concern to work with leaders and leadership to bring our community together is a great deal of concern to me. We've been going through a lot within our community for the last year. As I've seen last year, Chief Bercaw's willingness to get out into our community, build the trust, listen and be concerned of the issues, and was a step in the right direction. He's shown on many occasions by visiting with me to many of our businesses, pastors, and nonprofits within our community and viewing their day-to-day operation and providing vital resources to our community. Not only visit, but allow officers to come back and form partnerships by volunteering firsthand on in their operations. I'm not easily be impressed, but Chief Bercaw has shown integrity and leadership in moving this administration in the right direction by building a healthier and safe community. I pray that you grant the extension of Chief Bercaw today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Yes? Please state your name.
Good morning, Connie Burton. It's always interesting to see just how money just materializes for what things you want to see happen. And it's unfortunate for young people and people that is running organizations and agencies don't necessarily have the resources to deal with the most vulnerable people in our community and our population, and that is our youth. In the Resolution 568, as you continue to work with that, you're saying that youth is the priority. But about 2 weeks ago, we had a 14-year-old child that has not been resolved yet. How was he murdered? What is the mental counseling for that community? It did not happen in the most prestigious part of the business district in downtown. It happened in around a railroad track by Chamberlain High School. A 14-year-old child is dead. What do this city do to offset that? Let me tell you about privilege. Privilege, and I've been thinking about this, but it came to light just the other day, is a special right or advantage that's granted or available only to a particular person or an individual. That's what privilege is. Tell you how privilege works in this city. When we look through this agenda every week, just trying to find out what do we go back and tell our community, what did we get resolved, what resources is coming to our community, how can we prevent another 14-year-old child from being killed? Privilege is to be in this city and an employee and to have a job where you can make $120,000 a year, followed by having a part-time job as being a union officer and making $40,000 a year. have work assignments of inspection of 900 units and only doing 31. No write-ups for that. Arrested, suspended, and still collecting $120,000 a year. Privilege. But we have to come up here every week and say, how then do we help young people in our community? They don't have those privileges. They daddy don't have the phone number to all of you all. But it's constantly the protecting of the privilege in this city that leads to the ongoing issues in our community. We shouldn't have to beg. There should not be more discussions on how we're going to resolve some of these fundamental issues in these low-impacted communities that is begging for resources. We want to receive some of those same privileges that we see individuals getting.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Letitia P.
Please state your name.
Letitia P. I'm gonna go as far as just my initial LP. Again, I'm here on Madison Highlands in regards to the non-compliances, in regards to the senior citizens, and no one is really looking out for them. These big corporations are coming in, building properties, and not putting their best interest at heart. And even like a lease like this, the seniors sign it and they don't understand what is going on. The rent increase, there's clauses in here that they don't understand when they ask, okay, is the rent gonna increase? They tell them no, but they don't explain the details in the lease. And a lot of them don't wanna stand up because hostile retaliation and different things when they stand up and ask questions about why is this going on, and nobody's standing up for them and protecting their rights. They're vulnerable, and a lot of them have to go back out to work. The ones that speak up, they send notices out to try to get them out of the apartment with false reasons for eviction and different things like that. My mom is a tenant there. We've been going through this for 3 years. She has some issues that she's dealing with. I'm supposed to be there as a living aid, and they're not following the rules and procedures, and they're not in compliance. And it's been a long-going issue, and nobody's really standing up to say nothing. They'll give little programs to supplement the rent, but speak on the big issues. Why are the seniors not having understanding to what is going on in their communities? These corporations are coming in, building these places, making money, and not looking out really for the seniors and having resources there for the seniors. They're not putting their best interest at heart, and enough is enough.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Please state your
How you
name.
doing? My name is Hassim. I just got up because I had a conversation with somebody downstairs. We were seeing the police. It was like his granddad, his dad, and somebody else. Well, basically, the reason why I'm saying that there is because it's simple fact. You have to start from somewhere. See, his granddad did what he did, then his dad did what he did, so he's following the thing. So what I say the community, what I would say the community need to do is do the same thing instead of just 5 and 6 or 10, 20 people out of the community come. We need to get more people out of the community to basically come in, to veil their opinion. And then more people in the community and more kids would be able to get, I think she said favor, because they try to say it's favoritism just because Donald Trump left because his dad left him money. No, he did right. You see what I'm saying? You can't, I'm going off the subject. So either way it goes, my whole thing is basically we need to get more people to come in on the community, you know what I'm saying, and to voice their opinion, and then you have more, you know what I'm saying, more kids and more people come, so it'll be better. Similar to like what I was trying to say earlier, how the dude, grandfather was a cop, and then his dad was a cop. There's no problem with that, and now he's a cop. But if we do that more and start coming in instead of sitting back and not saying that and letting other people come talk for you, we're going to stay in this predicament. I'm talking for the community and the people that need to hear it, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Please state your name.
Good morning, Allison Doucette. I think there may be a separate agenda item for this for public comment on requests for reconsideration of legislative matters next, but I wanted to stand up just in case that wasn't for our request, but
Mr. Shelby, after public comment, we do ask any requests for the public for reconsideration, and that would be the appropriate time. Is that correct, sir? That's correct. Okay, after public comment.
Okay, I'll sit down and then probably stand right back.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Please state your name.
Morning, John Miller with the Tampa Police Benevolent Association. I've been with the union now as vice president for about the past year and a half, and I've also been with the Tampa Police Department for 18 years, where I'm currently a lieutenant. I've known Chief Bercaw, who I know that he's up for a contract today. I've known him for 18 years since I got hired on here as a rookie. When I started here, he was already in a leadership role. He was corporal of a field training squad. So at that time, already trying to work on the people underneath him to make sure that they do things the right way, do things the better way. Since that time, I've worked for him for the past 18 years, both directly and indirectly. In that time frame, he's always pushed officers to improve themselves, to improve their own education, make sure they're doing innovative things, but doing things the right way. Not only did he kind of talk, but he walked the walk. As I think everybody in this room knows, he had earned his own doctorate. I think partially for the reason that he would be the most educated person in the room on a particular subject, so that he wouldn't get something wrong due to the fact that he didn't work hard enough or try hard enough to get it right. And I think that shows quite a bit about his personality, his leadership style. In the past 18 years, he's garnered not only respect of the rank and file underneath him. I'm here to tell you that the union fully supports him. That in the past, 16 months, I think, taking over, I think it was December 2022, since he took over as the chief here, not only has he garnered probably the best relationship that I've seen with Hillsborough County in my 18 years being here, but also with state attorney's office for the past 18 years here, to make sure that the right people are getting the right discipline, and that things are being enforced the right way, to make sure that we're on par with what the state legislator is basically telling us that we need to be doing. In addition to that, he's also not only garnered the respect of the officers underneath him, he's mentored them, he's guided them, and he's undoubtedly the right choice to continue on here for the next 3 years, because there is nobody that can replace what he does today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning. Please state your name.
Brandon Barclay, President, Tampa PBA. Council, I came to you December of 2022. I told each of you at that time that I stood beside Lee Bercaw for Chief of Police. We don't take that lightly. I said that he was the right person for the job. I think over the months that he's been chief, he's proven to each and every one of you that he's still the right person for the job. Not only is he an excellent chief, he's an even better person, and I want each and every one of you to think carefully with this vote. The success of public safety moving forward depends on how you vote today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ma'am. Please state your name.
Good morning. I'm Bishop Michelle B. Patty. I'd like to first extend condolence to all the men and women in law enforcement around the country for the fallen officers that was killed in Charlotte, and also praying for those recovery. We also had 2 officers that were shot here in Lakeland. It is not time to play politics with the chief. Chief Bercaw has done a great job. He's in the community. We're supporting him. And what we have to look and see that the timing is volatile. We're headed into the summer months where there's no sense in talking about changing things or spending more of the taxpayers' money, talking about going on a national search. I was a part of those national search. I visited when that took place. Only a handful of people applied for the job. Why? Because it does not pay that amount of money. The chief has shown you all that it has not been about the money, but he do need a contract. And from what I'm understanding, this is not the first time that it has been done, that under Chief Dugan, it was extended a contract to him. So I don't know why now is such an issue. And I support council even receiving a raise, but not this council, the next council, and not a 40% increase, but maybe a 3%, because this is a job that you all selected to be a servant. We don't want people now looking at it as a lucrative job where they come just to work. We want people who care about the community, who knows the community, who will fight for the community. And for you to say that because of money, nobody is sitting in those seats, you all are sitting there, and there are people before you all. That's a slap in their face to say that they was not qualified. But as we see crime going down in the community, why would anyone want to change the chief, not extend that contract? You're not doing anything extra or special, but it could hurt the community. You heard about the 14-year-old child that was killed? Well, we need to be seeing there's other children, people that are getting killed. And the chief, when I was about a few months ago, last year, it was looking like every week, 2 and 3 people were not only being shot, but they were being killed. That has gone down. So that should speak volume to this council. So please do not allow your personal politics to get in the way of your constituent safety and well-being. Put them first. It's not about you all. It's not about your personal. It's about this community who pay taxes to live in a safe, decent environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, good morning.
Hi, my name is Valerie Bullock from College Hill in Ponce de Leon. I support Stepping Stones. I go over there to Sulphur Springs sometimes 3 times a week, and the environment is very dismal over there. It looked like all hope is gone, and the children, they're trying to do the best that they can do. But if it's not like the parents, the school, and other activities for them to get involved in, they're going to end up falling through the cracks. So we definitely need to support and funding for Stepping Stones so that the children can get some help. Because it's a sad day in Tampa when you go somewhere like Sulphur Springs and you look at the children and you say, this is our future, and they're at such a disadvantage. And I also want to talk about the 568 resolution. I'm going to keep on talking about it. I don't know how long. But the NAACP is the only organization that have different departments that could help East Tampa get an economic engine in, preferably a solar manufacturing plant. Since Singleton Seafood closed down, there's no manufacturing plant in East Tampa. We could use the old Winn-Dixie Plaza or the Clorox building. We need bankers, planners, and urban developers, people who used to managing millions that know how to make things happen from inception to end. Any plan without these people involved is just symbolic. We will get the same thing we always got. Nothing tangible, nothing to help heal the pain or remove the barriers. A true leader doesn't cause separation. A true leader brings people together, and that's what we need on the 568 committee. The Environmental Justice Commission recognizes that only 8% out of the infrastructure jobs go to Black people. We got the Pikes program, and we also got all the other environmental programs going on. We need people from East Tampa to get some of those jobs from beginning to end, because I can't buy a house if I don't have a paycheck. You have to put money in the people of East Tampa pocket. I was sitting here and everybody was talking about the West Shore new development plan, and every time they said something about West Shore, I was saying ching, 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 that money's going to West Shore. And the same thing with Tampa Heights. They're going to have the same thing that they have over there in Hyde Park, their own little shopping district. What do East Tampa have? What is our grandbaby East Tampa? When you think about East Tampa, what do you think about? Oh, they got some good jobs over there. That's a good place to work right there in East Tampa. Oh, do you see the big convention center they have in East Tampa? We don't have nothing.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Please state your name.
Good morning, Robin Lockett. So I am for the police chief's contract being extended, but I think the question is what's in the contract, all right? So he's doing a great job. I agree with that from what I see. But I think it's right that you guys are questioning what's in the contract, if that's what you're doing, right? Because I think that with this, other positions in that administration has to be looked at in regards to whether it's equity and fair and so forth. So I think it's right. I think his contract should be extended. From what I see, he's doing a great job. But I think it's within your rights to evaluate what's in that contract. So that's what I have to say, so thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Pastor Williams. Good morning, sir. Please state your name.
Good morning. My name is Pastor Williams, located 1112 East Scott Street. I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ and God Almighty. You know, we could come down here and complain all we want. But the young lady just a while ago was talking about how good they support West Tampa and East Tampa, and not East Tampa, but East Tampa is already left out of the picture. You know what? Problems seem to follow people of color. And we got here a big problem. My water has been cut off about 3 months. And you know what? Won't nobody come by and check on it or nothing. 3 months is a long time. I have to go to my daughter's house to take a bath and everything, do what I want to do. But East Tampa is a troubled place for anybody to live. White folks, black folks, it don't make no difference what color you is. Nobody want to do nothing in East Tampa but build them sinkholes and all that stuff. It's ridiculous. But we got to live somewhere. And the reason I just was speaking about my water been cut off, my water bill been paid, but somehow they say it's a leakage somewhere, and they can't find the leakage. I done went up under my house there looking for the leakage, ain't found no leakage. Had Tampa water department come over there, they couldn't find no leakage. Had one guy to come over there, he was from Tampa water department. You know what he told me? He said, I can't find no leakage either. He said, what you need to do is tear this house down. Where they gonna put me out then? In a nursing home? I guess that's what they want to plan to do. But I'm not gonna tear my house down and try to find no leakage. The old rusted water coming through the fountain and everything, got my sinks all rusted out. Do y'all care? Do you really care? Y'all been elected for the people, but y'all don't give a damn. And I know you don't give a damn about me. Right now, I got my church there, 1112 East Scott Street. The white folks trying to take my church and give it to the Spanish Puerto Rican people. And I'm having a problem trying to get that up. But you know what? My trust is in the God Almighty. And God gonna provide regardless of whether they take something away from us or think they're taking away from us. We're gonna survive overnight. Why? Because we believers in Jesus Christ and our faith is in God Almighty. And I thank y'all for hearing me. I pray to God that some of y'all will come and hear me. Third, I want to give this to the...
Thank you very much, sir.
I'm going to give it to you. It's got my picture there and everything. And you can, if you want to give the rest of them, get a copy for the rest of them.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
Just don't thank me. Do something for me.
Is there anybody else in the public that would like to speak? If not, I'm going to go to the registered speaker. We have one registered speaker. All right, that ends public comment here in person. We have a registered speaker, Mr. Michael Randolph. Good morning, Mr. Randolph. If you're on, please unmute yourself and say your name.
Good morning. My name is Michael Randolph, and I'm with the West Tampa CDC. I want to start out by congratulating the the reappointment of the two chairs. I think both of y'all are doing an awesome job. I'm looking forward to doing a one-on-one in person with you. Today I want to talk about the community engagement to empower community. Connecting the silent majority and the marginalized to having a seat at the table. In partnership with the USF, we will be hosting 11 focus groups just to get the gist of what the community feels. Those focus groups include those with substance abuse, renters, homeowners, low income, fixed income, no income, the LGBTQ community, public housing, the disabled, the homeless, seniors, mental health, the faith community, businesses, and nonprofit. The second part of our focus group will focus on public safety. That includes the baby boomers. The baby boomers commit more crime than any other group. I know I'm part of that demographic. Most of them just need to have money just to buy medicine. The second group is Generation X, which is the generation of violence. The third group is Generation Alpha. We're going to use all these groups to get a feel from their perspective on why crime exists. We also will be reaching out to the different neighborhood groups throughout Tampa to share with them what we're doing. We've already identified 100 groups that we plan to send out information to. I'm happy to announce that the folks in Michigan has asked us to come on board to model their program on the West Tampa model to begin to deal with the issue in Flint, Michigan. We're looking forward to doing that from a bottom-up perspective. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Thank you very much, Mr. Randolph. That concludes public comment. At this time, we have any requests by the public for reconsideration of legislative matters? Yes, ma'am, please state your name.
Yes, Allison Doucette. Good morning. I sent a letter yesterday afternoon to City Council, and I have a copy here for the clerk and Mr. Shelby if you'd like. But essentially, we're requesting reconsideration of the legislative matter that was under CM 244301, which was the transmission of proposed amendments to the Land Development Code to the Planning Commission. We're really requesting just reconsideration of a portion of that transmission, which was previously traveling under file CM 22-77484, which was the Ybor City parking regulations. It's our understanding that, and the reality is that these regulations are not yet final. I understand why council wanted to transmit the amendment package as a whole, because there are a lot of other amendments that went with it. But at this point, the language isn't final. City staff had indicated that they welcomed additional comments or proposed changes. We're meeting with city staff tomorrow, and we are looking to have just the reconsideration as to that transmission on the Ybor City parking regulations reconsidered and held until the actual final language is ready to transmit.
Mr. Shelby, what's the process for a request like this?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Martin Shelby, City Council Attorney. Rule 4F of your Rules of Procedure state that a motion to reconsider an action of council shall be made only by a member who previously voted on the prevailing side and shall be made only at the same meeting or at the first subsequent regular meeting, which this is. A second to the motion may be made by any member. And I believe you're referring to the motion that was made at the April 18th meeting, as I recall, if that's correct. Let me just double check.
It was not last week, but the week before.
No, the week before.
Yes. So that, I actually
Let me see.
at the April 18th meeting, and last week was your workshop week, so it was my understanding that this is the first regular meeting.
That's correct. This was item number 85, and the motion was unanimous.
No.
Excuse me. The motion was made, number 85, wait a second, no, it was not.
It was a 5-2.
It was 5-2. It was number 85, file CM 244301. Motion made by Councilmember Clendenin, seconded by Miranda, that staff be requested to transmit the final language of the January 2024 Land Development Code Amendment to the Planning Commission. Motion carried with Carlson and Maniscalco voting no. So the question then is, the motion to reconsider has to be made by someone on the prevailing side, and then what it would do, it would be bringing that motion back to the floor, and if council wanted to reconsider that motion or to amend it in any sort of way, certainly council has that discretion if it so chooses. So now it is back to you, Mr. Chairman, and the council's pleasure, whatever that is.
So one of the 5 yes votes would have to make the motion, have it seconded, and that would bring it back and reopen it, correct?
You would have discussion on that motion and then a vote on that motion, and depending on what the outcome of that motion is, gives council the ability to amend it, reaffirm it, or deny it, however council wishes to choose.
Okay. Do any of the prevailing council members, well, any of the council members that voted yes on the item wish to make a motion. It would also require a second, and then we would take it from there. Would anybody like to make a motion for reconsideration? Last call. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Had to try. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
And if I can, Mr. Chairman, one last thing, just so you know that a copy of that has been provided to the clerk for the record.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. At this time, we are going to go to our committee reports and consent agenda per request of Councilmember Miranda. Items number 24 and 25 are going to be heard first. He is the chairperson for that committee, which is our Finance Committee. Item number 24 is a resolution for the residency waiver. We have a memo here. Who wishes to speak on that? If there is anybody to speak on that, if not, we can take it for a vote. Motion and a second on item number 24. Councilman Miranda?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I told you because there are very interested regarding in the operation of the city of Tampa. When you look at number 24, for extension of a one-year residency, there's 6 individuals that are very well needed, not only in the running of this city, but if there were any other city, it would be the same way, very well needed to make the city the best it can be going forward at all times. And we go from waivers for the chief of police to Alice Rumble, the Deputy Administrator of Development and Economic Opportunity, to David Ingram, the Executive Director of Tampa Convention Center, to Erica Moody, Director of the Community Development Agency, to Richard Metterback, Director of Contract Administration Department, to Barbara Tripp, Fire Chief pursuant to 601 of Tampa. And I'm going to make a motion to pass. However, we have to really, in my opinion, look at this stuff because when you want the best of the brightest, county doesn't just hire county people, they hire city people. Does that mean that we're going to can't work in the county, we live in the city? Are we saying that the best and the brightest we want, but we can't hire them because you're going to have a regency every year, you're going to have to come before us? That puts a negative effect on whoever's making an application, if they do make an application. So it's time, in my opinion, that later on, not today, but later on, we review this on a workshop to make sure that we get the best and the brightest of people to work in the city of Tampa. And a lot of people that take, just because you're at a certain level, if you're living somewhere else and you got a mortgage and you're going to come to Tampa, we're going to tell you you have to move to the city of Tampa. You can't afford to. It's the same thing. No matter what salary you have, it is the same basic thing that we're doing again. And this is just my opinion. You get in any business, we're the only ones compared to other businesses, and I'm talking the city of Tampa business, not another entity of government. Do we say that you can't play for a certain team if you don't live in that area? No. Do we say that a company can't hire somebody from a, class 5 or 6 in the whole country that doesn't live in that city? No. So why do we have these resident requirements, in my opinion, that in the future, somewhere along the line, someone's going to take a job, but when they come here, they're going to leave the same day? And that might have happened already because somebody didn't apply that was qualified. So this is what I see coming, and I'm just bringing it out. I'll move number 24, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion and a second, but we have several council members that wish to speak. Councilmember Vieira and Councilmember Clendenin and Councilmember Carlson.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I wanted to echo what Councilman Miranda said. You know, sometimes I voted for this in the past, and sometimes you go, I voted for something, and you know what, I was wrong. This is one that I think I was wrong on. It's obviously well-intended. A lot of cities do that, but it's something, I don't want to call it an arbitrary distinction that we're putting that would preclude good talent from coming and helping in the city, but it serves as that. So I do agree with those comments, and it's something that I think we should further reflect on as council members, because it just does preclude this. And by continuing to have these extensions, we undermine kind of what we said in the first place. So why don't we just acknowledge the obvious and call it what it is?
Thank you very much. Councilmember Clendenin Carlson.
I guess I'm going to echo twice because I concur, and I swore this wasn't going to be my battle, but it seems the same thing. You know, you have maybe these rules existed for good intentions, but the reality is, one, the city boundary is kind of weird anyway, and who would argue that Carrollwood is not part of our general consensus area of what we consider the Tampa or any of the other areas, and now as we grow and expand and push forward in other areas, it's the same thing. I think that this rule is probably worthy of a discussion at a workshop, and I'd be definitely willing to listen to changing it. It seems if you continue to waiving rules, then maybe you need to relook at the rule. So I support this as well.
Councilmember Carlson.
Yeah, I'm 100% in favor of residency requirement. When I was on the Charter Review Commission, I advocated for it. It was there before, but the mayor at the time was flagrantly violating the law, and you guys can Google that and see, I think there was a lawsuit about it. And the person who was being discussed at the time was a great person. All these people in here are fantastic people. I believe strongly that we need people, at least, we're just talking about the senior leadership level. We need people who understand the city and work with inside the city. And I understand that it's a hardship, but there are a lot of benefits to working in the city, as well as whatever the potential downsides are. In the issue with this is that it's a charter issue. It's not our decision to make, it was the voters' decision to make. And just in the last 10 years, the voters have voted on it twice. Because of that situation, where the last mayor ignored the law, the voters voted on creating these extensions. So now there are 2 extensions, and that is in the new rules that was voted on by the voters just a few years ago. It is what's anticipated and allowed, but there aren't any extensions beyond that. And so that's where some of these folks may run into issues. I'm very in favor of voting for the extensions for these folks. I'm going to vote for them. They're all great people. And I want to thank them for putting their name on the line. By putting your name on here and telling the truth, you put yourself at risk. And I think it's the honorable thing to do that. The law is the way it is. The charter is the constitution of the city. If my colleagues want to change it, I'll vote against the change. But it has to go to the voters, and the voters will decide what the decision is. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? I'm going to support this, but also look at that. If we want to run for office as city council members, we have to live within the city limits. And if we're single-member districts, we have to live within those districts. And for the mayor, as well. And there's 6-month and 12-month requirements before election day or before qualifying that you have to live within the city. So we have very interesting rules and regulations. If you run for Congress, I think, is it true that you can run for somewhere out of state, and if you win and you move within that district after you win, you can hold the seat in that congressional district. So I can run in California if I want, and then I got to move there if I win. It's just very interesting. Anyways, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much. Item number 25 was also moved up. Councilmember Miranda, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Again, this is a situation that follows the other one, but here's a gentleman that's worked his way up all the way from when he first got hired to work what he does for the city, and does a fantastic job. Did I know the chief way before this? No, I did not. But I read what he's done, and I worried when you're accepted by your peers and you work for the peers, and they accept you as their leader, you get more productivity. And being a police officer, I don't care who you are, I don't care what rank you have a great responsibility, greater than any job I know. Because you got to make a decision 1/100th of a second, yes or no, do or don't, go or stop. And we take it for granted that later on there's consequences, and there should be. So what I'm saying is that I have known the chief only when he came up the ranks, maybe from captain on up or whatever he was, and I find him to be a very honorable individual. I've managed him to be very calm, and he has one thing that I really like. He doesn't speak something, and his body language tells you something else. He looks at you and tells you what it is, and his body language is telling you the same thing his mouth is doing. And you don't find too many individuals like that sometimes. So with this chief that I'm looking at right now, he's straightforward. He does what he thinks. He talks to his people, the deputy chiefs. He doesn't make a decision pounded just, here I am, it's going to happen whether you like it or not. And he's a human being that understands about life and what it takes to help other people. When you're chief of police in any city, in any department, in any country, you are looking out from the one in the bottom all the way to the ones on the top. And you have a responsibility to answer the call for all, not just some, but all. And this gentleman has done it since he's been chief. So that's why I'm authorized by the chairman of this committee to say that I'm going to vote for the execution employment agreement between the city and the chief. And let me tell you why. Let's go back and look at the pension plan. Number A and number B. Number A, he's a city employee. Number B doesn't happen until you have what? You served your time and you put your application years before you became chief to serve the city. So he's entitled to a pension whether he stays or whether he leaves. And if I'm incorrect, just please correct me. And I have talked not to Mr. Bennett, I haven't talked to the mayor, I haven't talked to no one. And let's talk about the salary. Whether he stays or he leaves, that salary is going to be in place for whoever comes after him. So if you sum the digits, they're the same whether he leaves, they're the same whether he stays as far as the money's concerned. Now, what do you get back? You get individuals been in the fire and police department for how many years? Many. That's gone up the ranks, that's understood what it takes to go up the ranks, that knows how to talk to people on a one-to-one basis, and can also address a good crowd, a big crowd. But individually is what you really need to be successful. I always say to somebody when they come to be about running for office, you want to be successful, I'm going to give you advice, you're going to think it's very easy, and you'll never do it. 200 days before the campaign, you get one person a day that tell you truly they're going to help you. And at the end of 200 days, you're not going to find maybe 10. So what I'm saying about this gentleman here, he's handled those 10, and he's handled those 200. He has earned his position. So therefore, I'm voting to extend the execution. The money, if somebody has something that I don't know about, that the monies don't add up, that he's getting more than he's entitled to, please let me know now. Please let the public know now. I'm pleading with you. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. I don't think I am.
Second. All right, we have Councilmember Miranda making the motion. There's a second. Councilmember Clendenin, Vieira, Carlson. Ma'am? Okay, and then I'll wrap it up. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's about a year ago today, I was a new council person, and my first meeting with an official was Chief Bercaw as he was taking on this challenge. It was a very productive meeting. I shared my concern about law enforcement and issues we have with youth and preventing crime from the beginning, and talked about my support of PAL, the Police Athletic League, and the chief immediately ran up, grabbed a cap, and started going off and basically saying everything that as if he was in my head about the importance of crime prevention and working with youth, getting kids off the street, making sure that there's activities for them and supporting that. I look forward to watching the chief continue in this role so that he could see that plan really play out and build the program to do what's needed for the city of Tampa. I agree with what Councilman Miranda said. I also did my own personal research on setting salaries and we are underpaying compared to comparative cities. I didn't take the word of the administration. I did my own research and looked to verify that was a fact. So I think everything, the money, Mr. Miranda, is in line. And I'll leave it at that because I know my other fellow councilmen will have other things to say, and I don't want to necessarily be redundant. But thank you again, Chief, for being supportive of youth in our neighborhood, and that is the future of crime prevention. Thank you.
All right, Councilman Vieira, Carlson, Henderson, and me. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I incorporate all the prior remarks that have been made. I'll say this about the chief. He's a very good man. He's a very humble man. He is a man with academic background. He has great temperament, which is so important in being not just a law enforcement officer, but in being chief of police. Temperament in dealing with the public, temperament in dealing with elected officials and different political challenges that he's got to deal with. I've seen that happen in this chamber. I've seen that happen in the community. And he's always calm. I'm the kind of person, one of the things I really value in people is the ability to stay calm. That's a lost art, especially these days. And Chief Bercaw always champions that. But for me, the real dispositive issue here on this vote is stability for Tampa Police Department. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We've had 4 police chiefs, including interim police chiefs over the last 4 years. We don't need a 5th. We got to get a vote on this, and I hope that we all vote yes. I'm ready to vote today. I'm ready to vote yes. Frankly, I wish that this wouldn't have been delayed a few weeks ago from when it was. I was ready to vote yes then. I'm ready to vote yes today for the very same reasons of stability for Tampa Police Department. You know, I speak to a lot of police officers. I do. I visit stations. It's something that I take a lot of joy in. That's one of the things I love to do, is to talk to our first responders. And ever since this issue came up, one of the things that I've heard a number of times is the teachable moment that we got to talk in the public about the police pension. A lot of people think that this is some Cadillac benefit from the 1950s, which those were still around, by the way, okay? Nothing against those. But the fact of the matter is it's not. Cops, just like firefighters, contribute up to 20% of their gross pay. You put in health insurance, right? And if you got a family, before you pay a dime to Uncle Sam, you're taking almost a third of your income, your gross income, and giving it to health insurance and your pension. Why do cops have that? They usually retire after 20, 25, 30 years after going through hell, all kinds of hell, political hell, physical hell, all kinds of hell, right? The fact of the matter is the average cop lives 12 years less than someone in the general public. We all know why that is. This is something that is obviously earned. It was earned by Chief Bercaw for his service to the city, getting his butt kicked every day on the job. And it's no secret that over the last few years nationally, cops have been taking a lot of different hits. It's always been hard being a cop, especially hard today. They earned this pension. So when folks talk about, oh, he's going to be collecting a pension along with this lavish salary, misstatement of facts. Like every single cop and every single firefighter, he worked like hell for that pension. So this is not some sort of a Cadillac issue or a Cadillac benefit, so to speak. If we don't proceed today with a yes vote, right, we're going to have to do a search, spend more money on a search. And like Councilman Miranda said and Councilman Clendenin said, we're at the market area. I've also done the research. Because again, you got to trust but verify, right? I've also done the research. We're there. We're right there. All of the facts lead to yes, but the biggest thing that I want to emphasize in this vote is stability for the men and women of Tampa Police Department. These folks have taken a lot of hits over the last few years. Again, 4 police chiefs, they don't need a 5th. For me, this is a no-brainer. Let's vote yes for a very good man who makes every single cop in Tampa Police Department proud, makes me proud. Thank you.
Councilmember Carlson.
Thank you. I was elected in 2019, the mayor was elected in 2019, and from 2019 till about 2021, the violent crime rate in Tampa shot up. We also found out about at least 3 Justice Department investigations, 2 of them uncovered by the Tampa Bay Times investigators. And so we all started looking for solutions. I talked to Chief of Staff and the mayor, who during their reign as head of police, saw a reduction in violent crime, and I knew that they knew what they needed to do. One of the reasons why the crime rate had gone up is a lack of investment in neighborhoods outside of downtown, and also some of the civil rights violations that were put forward. And I believe, and I think most police officers and law enforcement who believe that there's a way to have good policing and reduce crime without violating civil rights, especially to the extent that the Justice Department comes in. So when the mayor proposed Chief Bercaw a year ago, I proudly stood behind him. I think he's a very, very good man. He had kudos from throughout the community, and we needed stability. We couldn't take the time to go out and talk to other folks outside. And anyway, he knew the system, the people, and every single person I've spoken to inside police department, stopping people in the street, talking to the union and others, they all universally like him. Civil rights groups like working with him. And so I was very proud to stand behind him and support him. What made me sad a few weeks ago and made me sad again this time is that the administration politicized it. And as I said a couple weeks ago, he didn't deserve to have the controversy that came up. And the reason it happened is lack of transparency, that it was put on the consent agenda, which was done again this week, and that there were problems with the contract. And I raised those thoughts privately, hoping that it could be resolved privately, and maybe others did too, and finally some of it became public, not by me, but anyway it came out. And I think that Chief Bercaw is a great man, and he didn't deserve to go through that. I still have some contract concerns, but the chief lawyer of the city has gone through and explained her opinion, and as the charter says, the city attorney has the final word, and I've given my concerns, but ultimately, by charter, I'm required to do whatever the city attorney says, and so I have to go with that, and if there's an issue, then the legal department has to deal with it. But none of that should hurt the idea that Chief Bercaw is a great man. He's done a good job of bringing stability to the department. People have confidence in him all over, and the violent crime rate has come down. All crimes have come down, and so that's ultimately what the people and the community want. What makes me sad about the process also is that I wish both times that somebody had called me to give me a heads up. Chief Bercaw himself called, which I don't think he should have had to do, but I so appreciate that. And every time I've called him on behalf of my constituents, he's taken my calls, and he's worked with people who don't always agree in the community, and he's very good at doing that. And so I'm very proud to vote for Chief Bercaw. I'm not voting for the contract, but I'm voting for Chief Bercaw, and I agree about the pay. I think people in his position, because of their risk they put, they need to be paid top dollar, and so the next time we go through this process, we should make sure to relook at it. So I think the other thing about this that people haven't said is Chief Bercaw doesn't have to do this. He can retire and go travel the world or do whatever he wants to do, and he's putting in 2.5, 3 more years for this community, and so I thank him for doing that.
Councilmember Henderson, did you want to speak now?
Thank you, Chair. I appreciate it. Dr. Chief Bercaw, one of the things that I discovered about you initially taking this job is that you were tapped for it. It wasn't something that you actually signed up for, which says a lot about the work that you've done to get to where you are. The men and women of the police department, including the union, approached me as a new council member, called me to let me know that you were the right man for the job, that we did not need to spend the funds to do a search at a time when police departments are under attack. Knowing who you have to work with, knowing your leadership is good for staff. And just like in education, the superintendent, the principal, when people are saying that work under you, that you are the right person for the job, we have to listen to that because we know your disposition, we know the inside track. And so that's really important that you have that support. The city attorney did pull the contract, item 31. I remember it like it was yesterday. She shored up some things, and now we're here today to support this. So one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that, you putting yourself in the spotlight by being the chief, your wife, your very shy wife, has had to come on this journey with you. I've met her throughout the course of events that we've attended together. So it's a journey for the both of you all, and I know that she is in support of you continuing in this work now that she's settled in with her role in supporting you. And so that's what's important. And also, the final comment that I'll make is that it is not uncommon at all, you can do the research for yourself, that the contract for police chiefs are always on the consent agenda. This is not unusual. And so the city attorney shoring up some language is important. We've identified that. There's a long memo if the public wants to go and read that. But of course, it sounds like here on the dais that we're going to have unanimous support, and that is, good for the city of Tampa to know that we have no concerns. So I appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'll wrap it up with my comments. We'll take it to a vote. We could vote this down today, and then there's going to be the what I call, I'm trying to find the word, but this national search, which I never believe in, because I believe in the men and women of the Tampa Police Department, and I believe that we should hire within our ranks people that know the community. We've had many great chiefs before, Dr. Chief Bercaw. Chief Bercaw has worked through those ranks. You've been here many years. You know the city inside and out. When I started here in 2015, you were one of the first names that I heard. And I've always heard good things. Your reputation is solid. Councilman Vieira used a word called temperament. You know, grace, courage is grace under pressure. I believe Ernest Hemingway said that. And you show that. You're always calm. And I say that with respect because you're surrounded by the fire. You know, it's a tough job. You're running a department with a lot of people, and it's 24/7. As was already mentioned, you could retire and travel the world. But you want to do this. You've been, you know, you've assumed this position. You've been asked to do this. And I asked you yesterday, do you really, really want to do this? And I saw in your eyes and how you responded, yes, the passion was there because you believe in this position and you do a great job. I appreciate that you're always accessible. Either I call you or you call me. You're there to answer my questions. I remember the one evening in Ybor City several months ago, you said it here at the dais, come on down and we'll have a cup of café con leche and we'll go through the neighborhood. And I took you up on that, and we did. And I brought my wife, and we walked through the community, and we got to know each other better. But the support is here on this dais, as you can see. You're a respected individual. If we do a national search or any search, they're going to want the same amount of money, if not more. And we might get somebody that's not familiar with the city of Tampa, like you are, like many of the individuals here. So I'm proud to support you. I think you do a very good job. You're a very respectable individual. Your reputation speaks for itself. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Congratulations.
If I may, just thank you for your overwhelming support, the community support, the officer support. It's literally overwhelming. But I told you when I was here before that I was going to focus on community policing and crime reduction, and we've done that, and I want to continue that. So thank you again for your support. And truly, it's a community coming together, whether it's city council, whether it's residents, whether it's business owners, or whether it's the cops. All of us working together is what makes a difference. So thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir. Congratulations. All right. We'll just wait a second. No, this is fun.
No meat left on the bone.
Meeting tomorrow. Abby? No, nothing aware of.
How's it going?
Hey, Steve, you forgot the number. I'm the funny one in the council chambers. Cut out the comedy. I'm the funny one in council chambers. Know your role and shut your hole. I'm the funny one in city council chambers.
Thank you very much.
That's a fact. That's a fact. As my twin at the other end of the day is.
All right. We'll wait for the door to close and then we'll continue on. So I'd like to break for lunch at 12 o'clock, but we'll see how quickly we move through this agenda. Yes, sir.
I have an event this evening that my attendance is required, and I think I have to leave around 5 or 5:30, just in case.
What? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What are you trying to... Why did you throw that out in the atmosphere?
It's happening.
It's not happening, sir. It's not. So, all right, we have item number 10 here, which is a first reading consideration. Yes, ma'am?
Hi, Rebecca Johns, Legal Department. This is a first reading on an ordinance to implement a compliance and monitoring fee on affordable housing units. This is the same ordinance that I presented to you at staff reports a few weeks ago. This ordinance would only apply to developments which contain affordable housing units and are developed pursuant to the Live Local Act, House Bill 1339, or bonus provision agreements. For these developments, the city has to monitor to ensure that they're in compliance with the requirements of the land use restrictions and statute. This monitoring includes initial monitoring to certify tenants and then annual monitoring to certify the compliance. The ordinance would reimburse the city for the cost incurred by the city in performing the monitoring. This ordinance only implements the ability to impose a fee. If this ordinance is passed, I will come back before you with a resolution that will set the actual amount of the fee. The fee that would be proposed is $100 per affordable unit for the initial compliance monitoring, and then an annual monitoring fee of $500 per affordable unit for developments of 5 or less, and then $50 per unit after that. I'm here if you have any questions.
Do we have any questions for Ms. Johns? No. All right, Councilmember Miranda, would you like to read item number 10?
We'll try, Mr. Chairman.
It's not a public hearing, there's no public comment. Go ahead, sir.
Item number 10, file number 2024/8, chapter 17.5. Ordinance being presented for first reading consideration. Ordinance in the city of Tampa, Florida, pertaining to affordable housing, amending the title Article 1 of chapter 17.5 of the city of Tampa Code of Ordinances to include compliance and monitoring fees for affordable housing development, adding section 17.5/14 to Articles 1 of chapter 17.5 to provide compliance and monitoring fees to be paid by the private developer to reimburse the city of Tampa for costs incurred by the city and monitoring affordable housing units construction pursuant to bonus provisions agreements approved pursuant to City of Tampa Code or of authorized by sections 166.04151 Florida statute, repealing all ordinance or parts of ordinance in conflict herein, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
We have a motion from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Henderson. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Second reading and adoption will be held on June 6, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. in Old City Hall, City of Tampa Chambers, 315 East Kennedy Boulevard, 3rd floor, Tampa, Florida, 33602.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next up, Mr. Wigington, item number 11.
Yes, sir, thank you.
I went from Wigington to Elevington. Yeah, my rhymes. Item 11, sir.
Thank you, sir. Ron Wigington, Legal Department. Good morning, council. Item number 11 is an ordinance being presented for first reading. It amends ordinance number 2022-166, which contained 2 Scrivener's errors. The first being an incorrect cite to the internal file number that we hold, which would, it should have been VAC 2206 instead of VAC 2118, 13. The second typo contained a phrase in section 2 that says a portion of 34th Street, and that phrase should have been stricken from the 2022 ordinance. This ordinance corrects both of those errors, and I'm available to answer any questions you may have and respectfully request approval of this ordinance.
Any questions for the gentleman? I see none. Councilmember Vieira, would you mind reading item number 11?
Yes, sir. I move an ordinance being presented for first reading consideration, ordinance amending ordinance number 2022-166, passed and ordained by the City Council of the City of Tampa on September 15, 2022, which vacated, closed, discontinued, and abandoned that alleyway described below to correct 2 Scrivener's errors that are contained in the first recital clause and section 2 thereof, repealing conflicts, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
We have a motion from Councilmember Vieira, second from Councilmember Henderson. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Motion carried unanimously with Hurtak being absent at vote. Second reading and adoption will be held on June 6, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. in Old City Hall, City Council Chambers, 315 East Kennedy Boulevard, 3rd floor, Tampa, Florida, 33602.
Thank you very much.
Thank
At this
you.
time, we'll go to the Public Safety Committee. Item number 12 and 13 is Councilmember Vieira.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. I move 12 and 13.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Vieira, second from Councilmember Condon. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Councilmember Henderson.
Yes, Chair, I move items for Parks, Recreation, and Culture Committee, items 14 through 19.
We have a motion from Councilmember Henderson, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor? Aye. All right. Next up, Councilmember Carlson. You have 21 through 22. 20 through 22. I'm sorry.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Carlson, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We've already done 24 and 25, so we
Chairman, I
need.
move item number 23 in finance.
All right, we have a motion from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Clendenin. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr.
Any
Chair.
opposed? Yes, sir.
Item number 33, it has, one component of it has to do with the school district, and my company deals with the school district, not on any matters related to the city, but just to avoid a appearance of a conflict. I'm going to abstain from number 33, and I would make a motion to receive and file my Form 8B, please.
We have a motion and we have a second. This is to receive and file from Councilmember Clendenin, the second. All in
Carlson.
favor? Aye. No, second from Clendenin.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
All in favor? Aye. All right, so we'll take a vote on 26 through 34 minus 33.
So moved.
We have a motion from Councilmember Carlson. We have a second from Councilmember Henderson. All in favor? Aye. Councilmember
Move on
Clendenin.
up 33.
Okay, we have a motion to move just item 33 from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Henderson. All in favor? Aye.
Ooh,
And that is to
and I
announce it with
abstain.
the abstention.
Do you have that, Madam Clerk? Could you announce that, please?
Motion carried unanimously with Carlson abstaining and Hurtak being absent at vote.
Thank you.
Councilmember Miranda?
Move on 36, the resolution setting public hearing for June 20, 2024, at 1:30 p.m. Thereafter,
35, 36, and 37.
yeah, 30, well, okay, I missed 35. Let me go back to 35. Move the petition for review of hearing to be held on 35, that's file number DE1/24/93/C, for hearing on June the 20th, 2024, 1:30 p.m. at the Old City Hall Chambers at 315 East Kennedy Boulevard, 3rd floor, Tampa, Florida, 33602.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Miranda setting those public hearings, second from Councilmember Henderson. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much. At this time, may I get a motion to
The
open
one,
all
the
public-
137, Mr. Chairman, is May, so I want to make sure that I change that. I don't want to, I said June the 20th on both of those. other two.
Okay. Item number
Item 37 is the same, set for resolution for public hearing on May 23rd, 2024, 501 in Old City Hall Chambers, 315 East Kennedy Boulevard, Tampa, Florida, 33602.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Second from Councilmember Vieira. This is setting the public hearing for 37. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? May I have a motion to open all public hearings?
So moved.
We have a motion from Councilmember Clendenin, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor? Aye. These are quasi-judicial public hearings. I have some registered folks, however, some are in the audience. If you are going to speak on any public hearing today, please stand, raise your right hand, and we will swear you in. If you're going to speak on any of the public hearings.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to provide is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Thank you very much. We'll start it off with item number 38. Item number 38. This is regarding the comprehensive plan, sir.
Yes, hi, Evan Johnson with City Planning. I believe we have Jennifer Malone on the line from the Planning Commission, and she was going to do the intro. This is a second reading case, I believe.
Yes. Jennifer Malone, have you been sworn in? Were you on video raising your right hand? Oh, it's non-quiet. Oh, I'm sorry. What? Just, okay. I didn't see it written. Go ahead. Jennifer Malone, anything? Okay. All right, is there anybody, is there a representative for this item here?
She can't unmute
Wait,
herself.
go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Jennifer just told me that she cannot unmute herself.
Okay, you can take it then.
Hi. I was able to unmute myself. I apologize for technical difficulties. Jennifer Malone, Planning Commission staff. The item before you is TACPA 22-28. It came before you on March 21st, 2024, and you all voted yes on this comprehensive plan map amendment to community mixed use 35 and urban mixed use 60. I'm available for any questions.
Do we have any questions for Ms. Malone? No? Anything further to this presentation? No? All right, do we have an applicant here? Do you have anything to add?
No.
We have a motion closed from Councilmember Clendenin. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilmember Henderson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Councilmember Henderson, would you mind reading 38?
I do not mind, Chair.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
File number TACAP 22-28, an ordinance being presented for second reading and adoption. An ordinance amending the city comprehensive plan, future land use element, future land use map for the property located at folio numbers, there's quite a few, 189779 189.0000, 189.778.0000, 189.777.0100, 189.777.0000, 189.774.0000, 189.775.0000, 189.776.0000, 189.780.0000, 189.864.0000, 189.863.0100, 189.863.0000, 189.862.0000, 189.864.0100, 189.865.0000, 189.866.0000, 189.870.0100, 189.872.0100, 189.872.0000, 189.871.0000, 190.093.0000, 190.087.0100, 189.598.0000, and bringing up the tail end, 189.577.0020, from general mixed use 24, GMU 24, light industrial and heavy industrial, to commercial mixed use 35 and urban mixed use 60, providing for repeal of all ordinances in conflict, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Second, .00.
And
Commercial, why did I say, excuse me? Community mixed use? Community mixed use 35, thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a motion. Was that a second, Councilmember Miranda? We have a second from Councilmember Miranda. Please record your vote.
Motion carried with Hurtak voting no.
All right. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Item number 39, these are quasi-judicial. We have sworn everybody in, so item number 39. Yes, sir.
Name Thomas, Development Coordination. Item number 39 is REZ 2334. This item is a rezoning request for the property located at 610 Harbor Street, 1705 East Adamo Drive, 1616 and 1625 East Penny Street, 608 and 1026 North 19th Street, 1821 East Solomon Drive, Units 101 and Unit 2, and folio number 190093-2106. The request is to rezone from Planned Development, Channel District 2, and in heavy industrial to Planned Development Alternative, and Channel District 2 for residential multifamily and all commercial intensive unit uses. Revisions have been completed and certified plans have been submitted to the clerk's office. I'm available if you have any questions.
Do we have any questions? No? All right. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. You were sworn in. Please state your name.
Yes, Tyler Hudson, 400 North Ashley Drive. Thank you for your support. We've made all requested changes. Thank you.
All right. Anybody in the public wish to speak on this item? This is 39. We have a motion to close from Councilmember Clendenin. We have a second from Councilmember Vieira. All in favor to close?
Aye.
All right. We have the ordinance, and then we read the resolution. Councilmember Clendenin.
I move file number REZ 2334, an ordinance being presented for second reading and adoption. An ordinance rezoning property in the general vicinity of 610 Harbor Street, 1705 East Adamo Drive, 1616 and 1625 East Penny Street, 608 and 1026 North 19th Street, 1821 East Solomon Drive, Units 101, 102, and folio number 190032106 in the city of Tampa, Florida, and more particularly described in Section 1 from zoning district classifications PD, Plan Development, CD2, Channel District 2, and IH Industrial Heavy to PDA, Plan Development Alternative, and CD2, Channel District 2, Residential Multifamily, and all commercial intensive uses, providing an effective date.
We have a motion from Councilmember Clendenin, a second from Councilmember Miranda. Please record your vote.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, and you want to move the resolution?
Yeah, I move the resolution as well.
Second.
We have a motion to move the resolution for 39, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Item number 40.
Sam Thomas Development Coordination. Item number 40 is REZ 2339. This item is a rezoning request for the property located at 5309 and 5311 East Columbus Drive. This request is to rezone from residential multifamily 16 to planned development for storefront residential and all commercial general uses. Just as a refresher, the applicant agreed between first and second reading to provide 75% of the units as affordable housing at 80% of the area median income. The applicant has completed revisions to the site plan as requested by staff and provided hard copies that have been submitted to the clerk. I'm available if you have any questions.
Any questions for the gentleman? No? All right. Applicant, please state your name.
Steve McElhaney, representing the petitioner. As you may recall, we made commitments on the record that were already included on the site plan, and we made additional commitments that have been placed on the site plan. The staff has reviewed, accepted them, and made sure that they were consistent with all of the motions. We respectfully request your approval.
Any questions for the applicant? No? Do we have anybody in the public that wishes to speak on item number 40?
Move to close.
We have a motion to close from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Vieira. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Councilmember Hurtak, would you mind reading 40?
Actually, I am changing my vote on this one. So sometimes you just go home and you can't sleep. And this was one of them where, while I really appreciate the need for housing, I couldn't get over the scale and massing. I just couldn't do it. So that's the scale and massing with the Land Development Code, section 27136. In addition to findings by the staff that this was inconsistent due to the waivers of landscape buffer, removal of trees, and not planting level 1 and level 2 trees and instead putting palm trees. It just didn't fit into the space. I still think we need affordable housing in that area, just don't think this is the right one. So I can do a motion to deny, or we can.
We would take the vote and then take it from there, and then it would be a motion to deny. Is that correct, Mr. Shelby?
What you have before you on your agenda is a motion to approve. I suspect that's what it was moved forward for a second reading and adoption. I suspect what would be appropriate.
Let's take the vote on.
Okay.
On the motion
Okay.
on the motion as presented.
Then, yeah, I can't read it.
Councilmember, did you want to speak?
I'm just, when something comes for second reading, there's nothing that concrete to deny or approve. You gotta read the ordinance and take a vote. I'm not an attorney, I'm not a judge, but I'm just saying my feeling. But anyway, you want me to read it, Mr. Chairman, I'll read it. File 40, item number 40, file REZ 23-2039. Ordinance being presented for second reading adoption. Ordinance rezoning property general vicinity to 5309, 5311 East Columbus Drive in the city of Tampa, Florida, more particularly described in section 1 from zoning district classification, RM16, residential multifamily, PD planned development, storefront retail and commercial general uses, providing an effective date.
Second. We have a motion from Councilmember Miranda. We have a second from Councilmember Vieira. Please record your vote.
Motion failed with Clendenin, Maniscalco, Henderson, and Hurtak voting no.
Mr. Shelby, do
So
we
the
now
motion
need
is-
a motion to deny, or is it dead because it's at a second reading?
No, another motion is in order.
All right,
For
Councilmember
an
Hurtak.
affirmative vote of 4 to effectuate action per your charter.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do it, I'm sorry. I move to deny file number REZ 23-39 for the property located at 5309 and 5311 East Columbus Drive in the city of Tampa due to the failure of the applicant to meet its burden of proof to provide competent and substantial evidence that the development as conditioned and shown on the site plan is consistent with the comprehensive plan and city code, and the applicant's failure to meet its burden of proof with respect to the requested waiver. I had also adopt the findings and reasonings of the city staff report, especially regarding
the waivers and the landscape buffer waivers, but also Land Development Code Section 27-136. The scale and massing are significantly larger and thus not compatible with the surrounding built environment. And that, to me, was my deciding factor. Thank you.
We have a motion of denial from Councilmember Hurtak. We have a second from Councilmember Clendenin. Let's do a roll call vote.
Carlson?
No, excuse me. I'm not going to object to that, but I think we got to follow the same rule.
Oh, you want to is the clerk good with a recorded vote?
Is it set up for that?
It's not set up. for
Yeah,
that.
that's
It's just
why.
the word.
It's not really, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
A roll call.
Let's do a roll call. So we have a motion, we have a second for denial. Let's do a roll call.
Carlson? Hurtak?
Yes.
Clendenin?
Yes.
Henderson?
Yes.
Vieira?
No.
Miranda?
No?
And Maniscalco?
Yes.
Motion carried with Carlson, Vieira, and Miranda voting no.
Thank you very much. Next up is item number 41.
Sam Thomas Development Coordination. Item number 41 is RAZ 2378. This item is a rezoning request for the property located at 4212 West North B Street. The request is to rezone from residential single-family 50 to planned development for residential single-family semi-detached. Revisions have been completed and certified plans have been submitted to the clerk's office. I'm available if you have any questions.
Any questions for the gentleman? No? I see a Mr. David Wright is registered for this. Is Mr. David Wright on? And was he sworn in? Mr. David Wright, if you'd like to speak or add anything, please raise your right hand and we'll swear you in.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to provide is the truth and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
And please unmute yourself, sir. You're muted.
Oh, sorry about that.
Please.
David Wright,
Yep.
the applicant. I don't have anything to present today. Just respectfully request your approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Wait, is there anybody in the public that wishes to speak on this item? I see no one. We have a motion to close the public hearing from Councilmember Clendenin with a second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Councilmember Carlson.
I'd like to move number 41, file number REZ 23-78, ordinance being presented for second reading adoption, ordinance rezoning property in the general vicinity of 4212 West North B Street in the city of Tampa, Florida, and more particularly described in section 1 from zoning district classification RS 50 residential single family to PD plan development residential single family semi-detached, providing effective date.
We have a motion from Councilmember Carlson, second from Councilmember Miranda. Please record your vote.
Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you very much, sir. Item number 42.
Sam Thomas Development Coordination. Item number 42 is RAZ 23-112. This item is a rezoning request for the property located at 1324 West Fig Street. The request is to rezone from residential single-family 50 to residential multifamily 18. I'm available if you have any questions.
Do you have any questions for the gentleman? Nope. Yes, sir. Please state your name.
Steve Michelini, representing the petitioner. You may recall that we met with the staff and had no objections there. We'd be happy to request that you approve this matter. Be requested that the issue be approved. So I'll be here to answer any questions.
Any questions for the applicant? No. Do we have anybody in the public that wishes to speak on item number 42? We have motion closed from Councilmember Clendenin, second Councilmember Vieira. All in favor? Aye. Councilmember Vieira.
Yes, sir. I move an ordinance being presented for second reading adoption, an ordinance rezoning proper and general vicinity of 1324 West Fig Street, City of Tampa, Florida, more particularly described in section 1 from zoning district classification RS 50, residential single family to RM 18 residential multifamily, providing an effective date.
We have a motion from Councilmember Vieira with second Councilmember Miranda. Please record your vote.
Motion carried with Carlson, Maniscalco, and Henderson voting no.
Thank you very much. Item number 43, Mr. Thomas.
Sam Thomas Development Coordination. Item number 43 is REZ 23-119. This item is a rezoning request for the property located at 213 South New Jersey Avenue. The request is to rezone from residential multifamily 16 to planned development for residential single-family attached. Revisions have been completed and certified plans have been submitted to the clerk's office. I'm available for any questions.
Any questions? Nope. Council, I'm sorry, sir?
Steve Michelini, representing the petitioner, would respectfully request your approval.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments from council? Do we have anybody in the public that wishes to speak on item number 43?
Motion to close.
We have a motion closed from Councilmember Clendenin, second from Councilmember Vieira. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Councilmember Henderson, would you mind reading 43?
Yes, Chair. I move file number REZ 23-119, an ordinance being presented for second reading and adoption. An ordinance rezoning property in the general vicinity of 213 South New Jersey Avenue in the city of Tampa, Florida, and more particularly described in Section 1 from zoning district classifications RM16 residential multifamily to PD planned development residential single-family attached, providing an effective date.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Henderson, second from Councilmember Miranda. Please record your vote.
Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you very much. Next is item number 44.
Sam Thomas Development Coordination. Item number 44 is REZ 2411. This item is a rezoning request for the property located at 4314 West Gray Street. The request is to rezone from residential single-family 50 to planned development for residential single-family attached. Revisions have been completed and certified plans have been submitted to the clerk's office. I'm available for any questions.
Any questions for the gentleman? No. Yes, sir.
Steve Michelini, representing the petitioner, I respectfully request your approval. We've made the corrections that were noted, and it's before you as corrected.
All right. Any questions or comments? Is there anybody in the public that wishes to speak on 44?
Move close.
We have a
Second.
motion to close from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Clendenin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Councilmember Clendenin.
I move file number REZ 2411, an ordinance being presented for second reading and adoption, an ordinance rezoning property in the general vicinity of 4314 West Gray Street in the city of Tampa, Florida, more particularly described in Section 1 from zoning districts classifications RS 50 residential single-family to PD planned development residential single-family attached, providing an effective date.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Clendenin, second from Councilmember Miranda. Please record your vote.
Motion carried with Hurtak voting no.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Next
you very
is
much,
item number-
council.
Thank you very much, sir. Item number 45 is next. Mr. Thomas?
Sam Thomas Development Coordination. Item number 45 is REZ 2419. This item is a rezoning request for the property located at 803 and 809 West Linebaugh Avenue. The request is to rezone from residential single-family 60 and planned development to planned development for residential single-family semi-detached. Revisions have been completed and certified plan the clerk's office. I'm available for any questions.
Any questions or comments for the gentleman? Nope. Item number 45 has a registered individual, our applicant. Mr. Pressman, are you on, and were you sworn in? Is he on? Okay. There he is. Mr. Pressman, you're muted, and he was sworn in, you said?
He was not.
Mr. Pressman, please raise your right hand. We'll swear you in.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you are about to provide is the truth and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
You're muted, sir. We can't hear you. The endless.
Sam goes on forever.
Did he log off and he's logging back on? We still can't hear you, sir. If you don't need to add anything, we can
Yeah,
just
we
go
can
to
just move
public
on.
comment.
Yeah.
You're good? All right, thank you. He got the thumbs up. Is there anybody in the public that wishes to speak on item number 45?
Motion to close.
We have a motion to close. Second, motion from Councilmember Clendenin, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Councilmember Hurtak.
Yes, file number REZ 24-19, ordinance being presented for second reading and adoption, an ordinance rezoning property in the general vicinity of 803 and 809 West Linebaugh Avenue in the city of Tampa, Florida, and more particularly described in Section 1 from zoning district classification RS60 residential single family and PD planned development to PD planned development residential single family semi-detached, providing an effective date.
Second.
We have a second. Please record your vote.
Motion carried unanimously.
Next up, before we break for lunch, is item number 46.
Rebecca Johns, Legal Department. This is the second hearing on the development agreement for Ybor Harbor, which is the rezoning that you just approved at number 39. I just want to state on the record, as discussed at the first hearing, we will be substituting the site plan for the one just approved. We will be adding to section 1019, adding the tenant disclosure language that's on the site plan that you just approved. And we will be adding that the plat, PLN, and infrastructure agreement for each phase will be done before the first building permit for each phase. Developers here if you have any questions. Thank you.
Any questions for the attorney? Any questions for the developer? Anything to add, developer? No? All right, is there anybody in the public that wishes to speak on this item? This is 46. I don't have anybody registered.
Second.
We have a motion to close from Councilmember Miranda, second from Councilmember Clendenin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Who would like to move this resolution?
Item number 46.
Just move it.
You didn't.
Yeah, just move it. You don't have to read it.
Okay, move the resolution.
We have,
That's so much
we have a
easier.
motion from
You're
Councilmember
standing between
Miranda
us
with
and
a
lunch.
second from Councilmember Vieira. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, council members. So we talked about lunch. However, I'm looking at this agenda. Yeah, that's the thing, is Ms. Feely's not here, and typically, how these agendas move, she would have probably thought we'd be here after lunch. So
Okay.
we're gonna have to be after lunch,
How
but it
about
should be
how about
brief.
an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, she's online. Oh, okay.
Ah, well, all right, so
Okay.
still stand by. Let's just do a couple of these items.
If you can, those
All
are
right.
big ticket items. and
Item
they-
number 48, it's $5 million. Staff was not requested to be here. Is there a motion to move it?
Second.
Councilmember Hurtak with the motion, second Councilmember Clendenin, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 49, do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion from Councilmember Clendenin, second from Councilmember Miranda, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Item number 50, there was no request, yes, sir, Councilmember.
That was a
Vieira.
receiving file.
Yeah, since we had public comment on that, I know I am going to be requesting the amount sought in the budget. This is something that's very, very important. You know, I've brought up Sulphur Springs a number of times, and this is something that the city should be funding. So just, again, I didn't see the need to have staff here for this, but every year I always do memo requests. I usually do them on things I'd like to see in the budget, and this certainly will be on there, so you can expect to see this in the City of Tampa budget. This is, again, a wonderful organization, and so we'll hopefully move that forward. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes.
Yes, Councilmember Hurtak, Councilmember
Thank you.
Carlson.
Yes, I completely agree. However, I was actually just with Mr. O'Hara talking about the budget, and he said we actually have some money this year in the action fund, still, social action fund. So he did not get me a number, but we might be able to do something even for this calendar year.
So can we continue this item to the next council meeting and have them report back with a number?
Would you like to make that motion, or do you want me?
Yeah, sure.
That's a 1 week,
Okay.
Madam Clerk. You can do that. Is that possible for the next regular meeting?
Very busy.
Very busy.
Then we have June 6th, which is also busy, but not very,
I
very,
think,
very.
if I may, I mean, this can just be handled through a simple yes or no with a monetary amount in a
Yeah.
memo. Spend 1 minute on it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an important issue,
I say we
and
just move it to the next meeting and just, because
if that way we can all get a memo with the amount of money that they have that we can put toward it.
All right, so we have
And
a
then
motion.
I suspect that might require a budget amendment somewhere down the line as a result of council's action.
Yes.
Sure, but again, that can also be a super quick
Yes.
thing.
All right, we have a motion for this to come back on May 16th from Councilmember Vieira, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor? Aye. Anybody else? All right. Thank you very much. Anybody else want to talk about this, or wait?
I was just gonna say, I think we should pass a motion to support it. So
Okay.
we're gonna-
Well, very good. Next is item number 51. We were happy with no staff present. Everybody good on that?
Yep.
Okay. All right, 52, we took care of 53.
May I, Mr. Chair, on 52?
Yes.
I wanted to, if I may, make a motion on that. May I, on it? since
Go ahead.
it's- Thank you very much. We heard from Ms. Alderman.
Can I just say something? I'm a member of the Italian Club, and I'm gonna abstain because of that.
You are?
What is it?
Okay. All right, I'm all
Are
right.
you a member too?
No, Councilmember Vieira.
Okay. Yes, sir. So I wanted to motion for the appropriate city staff to consult with an archaeologist and/or company that conducts GPR scans and/or dives to conduct a search in the sections of the College Hill Cemetery on the city-owned property in and around the retention pond located at the corner of 25th Avenue and 26th Street. This is an area that has many Black and Cuban individuals buried there, adjacent to the Italian Club Cemetery, and further that an update on the progress of this request returned to City Council at the September 19th meeting. And city staff can get with me before. This is a motion. I'm putting it in September for feasibility. We can talk about it in terms of what's going to happen, but it's to have them return to us on September 19th.
Yes, sir, Councilmember Clendenin.
Yeah, because this was, you had that memorandum and requesting continue, I'm not really prepared to make that decision today. I'd rather consult with staff and find out what the issues are, and then be better informed to act on. I mean, I like the principle of it.
I'm down.
But
So-
because I'm just not prepared, I don't have the, I like my background.
I don't want you, Councilman Clendenin, to vote without the requisite information. So how about this? I will be making that motion next week, and the very same motion, so just.
At the
be
night
prepared.
meeting? At the night meeting?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
fine. I don't want
All
you
right,
to.
Okay, that's good.
We will be on standby. Ms. Feely, well, okay, 53 we already took care of, 55 and 56 as well, we're continuing. So Ms. Feely is the last item, but she is logging off and logging on. She had some technical difficulties, so she just needs a few minutes. However, Mr. Shelby, we have some interns here today.
Yes.
That you'd like to welcome.
Gentlemen, do you want to come up and be seen and heard, or just want to stand up and just be recognized? Your call. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of council, I was contacted by Ron Cristaldi's office at Shoemaker Loop. They have two gentlemen that are interning with them, and they wanted to have the benefit of seeing city council in action. I'd like to introduce to you Calvin Checkinson, who is from USF, and Vivek Kailak. Did I pronounce it correctly, sir?
Yes.
And he is from Tampa Prep. Gentlemen, I present to you the city council.
Is there anything you'd like to add and say?
What grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year, and I'm gonna graduate soon.
A couple weeks.
And you'll be attending what school?
I'm planning on going to the University of Tampa.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Calvin Checkinson. I am at USF, and I'm a junior at USF. I major in political science, and I minor in biology.
Very good.
Welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for having
Councilmember
us.
Miranda.
Your last name is A-Q-E-E-K? I pronounced, how was your last name pronounced? No, gentlemen.
My last name, Kailuk.
Tyler's the last name?
K-I-L-U-K.
Thank you.
I have a question. So what did you all think about the meeting today? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting just because I've never seen one of them before. And it's kind of cool just to see the variety of different stuff that's discussed.
It is, I think the diversity of the subjects that we discuss on council is the most fascinating thing, that you get elected to a local elected office, and you've got to be a subject matter expert on water and garbage and land development. I mean, it's crazy, the diversity of issues that we have to deal with. It's insane. So yeah, I think it's a good observation. Did I hear that Ron Cristaldi is a mentor for you guys? Is that what I heard? Well,
Yes, sir.
boy, you couldn't have a better mentor. So there you go. Absorb everything you can from that, because that's priceless. Very good.
What did you think?
Well, it was a great experience because you get to see everything that goes into running a city, to bringing everything together to make sure that there are positive influences and making sure that the needs of the city is met. So I was well, and I appreciate to be able to see how these things go on.
Thank you, council.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing them, Mr. Shelby. What a great
Thanks for being
experience.
here. So T&I is working with Ms. Feely. There's some technical difficulties. They just need a few more minutes. Yeah, let's go to new business. Councilmember Carlson, we'll start with you. Do you have anything, sir?
Yeah, I went to Oaklawn Cemetery yesterday. I know you go to
Downtown, right here.
Yeah, have you been there lately?
Probably maybe a month or
There's
two.
a huge homeless encampment there.
On the other, right, on the other
And,
side of the wall.
and new, the people were showing me around, go there regularly, and there's new damage that's been done. We don't know by whom, but I took pictures and I'll send them to whoever from staff. But knowing we can't talk about this outside the meeting, so knowing that several of you go into the cemeteries all the time, that one has new damage where people have broken off the statues of famous people and thrown pieces in other places, and things have been broken. Somebody needs to do some major repairs over there. So
Absolutely.
there's one place I can show you the pictures, but there's one place where there's a camp. Somebody's sleeping on top of a cemetery, and on top of a grave. So we need to.
I'll talk to the administration about it and reach out to Chief Bennett.
Yeah.
Because you have the transfer station with the bus across the street, but at night people just jump over the wall, and it's a common thing. But it's a very important, significantly historic cemetery.
And the
there's a
reason
lot of markers.
the reason why I bring this up here, because we can't talk outside, and I know for anybody watching, Guido especially walks through cemeteries, reads the plaques, and studies all the people, so you probably know the history of all the people in that park. So I just want to make sure, I'm happy to help on it too, but I want to let you know.
I actually gave a tour one time for a couple years ago. If you're ever interested and you like that kind of stuff. But anything else, sir? Councilmember Hurtak, do you have new business?
Yes. This goes back to our workshop. I make a motion to have staff present a communication plan for the city's workforce development strategy and release and implement and implementation of the Good Jobs, Great Careers Collaborative Workforce Ecosystem Plan for July 18th, 2024.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilmember Hurtak, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Anything else, ma'am? Councilmember Clendenin?
I have nothing.
Councilmember Henderson?
Nothing.
Councilmember Vieira?
Just one, if I may, and I'd been meaning to make this a while ago, and I forgot about it. So July is going to be the 75th year mark of the murder of a Tampa police officer by the name of Morris Lopez, who was killed in action in July of, I guess 75 years ago.
49.
There you go. Yep. Sorry, long week for me. And it was on 7th and 16th in Ybor City. Shots came out of a car. He was shot. He would eventually die from the shots. Even though while he was shot, he jumped over to save the life of a paper boy who was there in Ybor City. His grandson, Morris Lopez III, is with Hillsborough County Firefighter. Then the son, I believe it was, of that paper boy whose life he saved, also became a firefighter and credited the life and legacy of Morris Lopez with Tampa Police Department. So I want to inquire with staff on we could do a city marker out there. I'd prefer to have a historical marker. And we're not going to get it done for the 75th year mark, but I would like to work on that. I think that's important that while people are out there in Ybor City doing God knows what, that they can remember that a hero died on those streets. That's so important. So I'm going to motion for that. And gosh, I didn't look at the dates.
Let me ask you a question. How long does it take to manufacture a marker?
It's a while.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll jump on that if we do it. I've been through this. If we do it through the county system, we have to go through the county board, the historical marker board. That's a lengthy process. That's a very lengthy process. We went through that with the racial lynching marker. And had some challenges with that. The what, I'm sorry? August 1st. There you go. I'm going to actually do it before that, but what was I going to say? Gosh, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's probably going to take a little bit, Mr. Chairman. So let me, if I may, look at the calendar here, and I apologize, Council, I didn't look.
Because I wonder if like we have the plaques and markers we put on city buildings, if they
That's
could be
what I'm
done quickly
thinking.
and
Yep.
put on the sidewalk or as like a cornerstone
Yep.
or.
So that's why I actually want it to be before July. So let me, I'll talk to city staff about this before.
There's June 6th, there's July 18th.
Let's do June 6th, and this is going to be just a staff array, something written. I didn't anticipate anything coming to us in terms of a statement or anything of that nature. So I do motion for June 6th, if I may.
And you're asking for a written report?
Written, yeah, absolutely. Okay. And again, I'll inquire with staff before. I'm working with the family of the late Officer Lopez on this, and if we can do, like you said, some sort of a plaque, even that may take more than the time, but I will inquire.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second from Councilman Clinton.
Yeah, just let me speak on that a second. I appreciate it very much. In fact, his wife's name was Maria Justa. His sister-in-law was named Olga Prado. And I remember that when I was a little kid because Olga's husband is named Manuel Prado, and that was my mother's brother. So I remember when that happened when I was a little kid. And it happened there, and it's a sad story, but that's how it happened. Mr. Vieira is correct.
So you would have been, 9 years old.
Yeah,
Look at
I've been
that.
9 years old my whole life.
That's right.
I've acted 9 years old.
Me too.
I didn't want to say that way, but thank you for the
We have
compliment.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Anything else, sir?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Miranda?
No, none, sir.
Ms. Feely, you're the last item, and then that's it. Wow.
Good afternoon, council. Yeah, when you said you were breaking for lunch, so I know I'm what stands between you and lunch and starting Friday Eve. So Abby Feely, Deputy Administrator, Development and Growth Management. Excited to be before you today with a brief update on the LDC code reform. If you recall, last month, you approved the contract for us to have Clarion Consultants join us as we start to update the land development code, which you all have had many different rezonings and things and topics that have come that we have said really our code needs a great amount of reform. This is now kicking off, and as part of that kickoff and the ongoing communication, I have promised to be before you the first Thursday of each month with a very brief update. So here I am today. Appreciate your patience with me. And I just wanted to let you know our first activity in relation to the code reform was to provide the consultant with all the different documents that we have been compiling over the years, including the current code, the new alley study, the updates to the comprehensive plan, chapters 17 and a half, chapter 14 with noise. So they've asked for a large amount of data. This also includes the list that Mr. Cotton and Mr. Benson have been keeping in relation to the changes we know we need to make, the top 10 waiver list. So we have provided all of this to the team, and they are currently reviewing all of that. And we are finalizing the kickoff, which will happen on May 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And that will be both an internal, external meetings with stakeholders in just a few weeks in May. You should be getting a save the date on that, as of course they want to meet with council also as an extension of some of the preliminary work that we did back probably about 18 to 24 months ago when you were interviewed and discussed some of the challenges and opportunities we have with this update. So they're digging in. We're getting ready to get the website associated with this effort launched. And that should be in the next few weeks as well. And then I will be back before you at the beginning of June to kind of give you an update on that kickoff and where we are. So if you have any questions, I'd love to take them and have an opportunity to answer them.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Ms. Feely? All right, we already did information reports and new business. Is there a motion to receive and file? We have a motion from Councilmember Henderson, second from Councilmember Miranda. All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Yay.
We are adjourned.
This is my expectation for the next 12 months, Chairman.